Right then, the big frost bear came back, with the bone flute woman dangling from its mouth like a chew toy. Yin Ruo and I tensed up, watching carefully. The bear stopped about 15 meters away, spat the woman out on the ground, gave me one final glare, and ran off toward the exit. Good bear. Kept its word. Mostly. The bone flute woman was in bad shape. Multiple wounds, the worst one near her heart. That bear had given her the full treatment. Yin Ruo drew her blade and pressed it against the woman's throat. Name, age, sect. Don't kill me. The woman was terrified. I'm Chui Ying, from the Chui family of the Rong tribe. I'm not Heavenly Wolf Guard. Not Heavenly Wolf? Then why are you with them? I stepped closer. You're facing Iron Garment Division Officer Yin Ruo. Don't lie. I'm telling the truth. The Heavenly Wolf Guard hired our family to send a beast-taming expert into the cave. That's me. Hired you? For what? Controlling a few bears. That's not worth the price. I frowned. You're lying. Officer Yin, just kill her. She's useless. Yin Ruo's blade pressed harder. Blood appeared on Chui Ying's neck. I'll talk. I'll talk, she screamed. I also control other beasts. The controlling flutes for those are with Copper One. They're 6th-rank creatures. All of them. Hidden near the entrance pool. They're waiting for you to retreat. Then they'll attack and stall you so you can't escape before the water Qilin wakes up. You'll all die. Yin Ruo and I exchanged a serious look. That was a problem. Beast taming is really that powerful? I pressed. Just control any beast you want. The stronger the beast, the shorter the control time. Chui Ying said quietly. Those 6th-rank beasts Copper One has? 10 days maximum. She's lying again, I said flatly. Controlling multiple 6th-rank beasts? That's not realistic. Officer Yin, she can go now. Permanently. Yin Ruo raised her blade. Wait. Wait. Chui Ying screamed. Those beasts were prepared by my family's elders outside. They brought them into the cave. The cave is special. If any warrior above 7th rank enters, their aura alerts the water Qilin. But beasts don't trigger it. Now that was interesting. The Rong tribe had high-level experts waiting outside too. Probably 6th rank, maybe even 5th rank, stationed near the Tianyuan River. Same setup as our side. What's the Heavenly Wolf Commander's real goal? Yin Ruo asked coldly. Our group of 7th ranks can't be his target. Last chance. Chui Ying went quiet for a long time. Then she spoke slowly. Before I came, I overheard my family elders talking. They believe the Heavenly Wolf Commander is after a 2nd-rank human immortal who went missing in this cave 240 years ago. They think if the immortal was frozen here, he might still be alive. After several scouting missions over the years, they may have already found where the body is buried. Yin Ruo's face went white. I remembered what Hui Kong had mentioned before. Centuries ago, a 2nd-rank human immortal did die here. But he was from the 9 Immortals' Dao Palace. Yin Ruo nodded grimly. That's correct. The immortal who perished here 240 years ago belonged to 9 Immortals. I turned to Chui Ying. Are you saying that immortal was also a Rong spy? Yin Ruo's expression was heavy. She was actually a disciple of 9 Immortals' Dao Palace herself? So this whole, your ancient master might be a Rong spy, thing was hitting close to home. I don't know about that. It was hundreds of years ago, Chui Ying said weakly. Can you at least give me some medicine? I don't want to die here. Do you have any beast-taming techniques on you? I asked casually. Her eyes went sharp and guarded real fast. No. Search me if you want. Then you're useless. Yin Ruo flicked her wrist. Head came off clean. Chui Ying died with her eyes wide open, still looking annoyed about it. Beast taming is too dangerous, Yin Ruo explained. Letting her live would only cause problems. Fair point. 0 complaints from me. Yin Ruo stared toward Ice Mist Mountain, face grim. If the 4th prince is also after that 2nd-rank immortal, we need to warn him. And even if he's not, we have to stop the Heavenly Wolf Guard. If they dig up a living 2nd-rank human immortal, that's catastrophic for Zhao. We're going into Ice Mist Mountain. I thought it over carefully, weighing the risks. And decided, nope, not my problem. Zhao has its own land immortals and 2nd-rank fighters. Let them handle it. I'm a 7th-rank constable with a bag full of treasure. Time to go home. Then Li Huai came sprinting out of Ice Mist Mountain like his pants were on fire. Constable Yang. Officer Yun. The 4th prince orders you to come immediately. We found a water boatie. I hate this job. Lead the way, I said instantly. Even without the water boatie, we have critical intelligence for the 4th prince. Inside Ice Mist Mountain, the cold hit like a wall. Way worse than anywhere else in the valley. But once we entered a cave at the mountain's base, the temperature snapped back to normal. Weird place. The tunnels in here are extremely confusing, Li Huai warned. Stay close. Get lost, and you might never find your way out. He wasn't kidding. These tunnels made the mining caves I'd worked in look like straight hallways. Twist after twist after twist. But Li Huai's team had left marks along the way. Finally, the passage opened up into a massive cavern. In the center, a freezing cold pool. And floating above the pool's center, held up by white mist, a single ice-blue fruit. Water Bodhi. Consuming it increases cultivation. My heart was pounding. One of the 12 holy medicines of martial arts, just sitting there. If I get that thing, my cultivation will skyrocket. Both sides were already here. Our Zhao warriors led by the fourth prince on one side, Copper One's group on the other. Nangong, you spotted me, and his eyes practically caught fire with killing intent. Yeah, get in line, buddy. Perfect timing, Constable Yang, the fourth prince said. This pool freezes over in a cycle, every 15 minutes, for just one breath of time. I need you to grab the water Bodhi during that single breath. Copper One laughed from across the pool. Think carefully, Constable Yang. There's a monster under the water. When the ice melts, it kills anyone near the fruit. Your Iron Garment division already lost people to it. I did a quick head count. We started with 29 Iron Guards. Now there were only 22, including me and Yun Ruo. Several were already dead. Don't listen to his nonsense, the fourth prince said. Your movement technique is unmatched. But I'll be straight with you. The pool freezes for only one breath. You need to sprint 50 meters there and 50 meters back in roughly 3 seconds. On ice, 3 seconds. 100 meters. On a frozen surface. Over a monster that kills on contact. I was doing the math in my head when the pool suddenly froze over. Instantly, a roam spy broke from the crowd and dashed toward the fruit. The guy was small, fast, crawling across the ice like a lizard. Genuinely impressive speed, top-tier upper 7th rank for sure. He reached the water Bodhi in about one breath. But one breath was all he had. Before his fingers could touch the fruit, the ice melted. A black tentacle shot out of the water, punched straight through his chest, and dragged him under. Gone. Just a few drops of blood on the surface, slowly fading away. Dead silence from everyone. Huikong, Chunzhua, Qi Qingyao, Dongfang Haojia, all upper 7th rank elites, exchanged looks. That rogue spy was just as fast as any of them. And he didn't even get to touch the fruit. This is ridiculous, I thought. Fourth prince, I said firmly. The water Bodhi can wait. I have urgent intelligence. His expression shifted. What is it? The Heavenly Wolf Guard's real target isn't herbs or fruit. It's a second-rank human immortal who went missing in this cave 240 years ago. They plan to dig out the body and revive it. The fourth prince's eyes widened. He turned slowly toward Qi Qingyao. She looked equally stunned. 240 years ago, the fourth prince said, eyes narrowing at Copper One with murderous intent. The only second-rank immortal who disappeared here was from Nine Immortals' Dao Palace. Are you telling me? He was also one of your spies. After a long silence, Copper One just laughed. So the commander's plan leaked after all. Chuang told you, right? She's dead now, I assume. He smiled at me. You know why I kept her outside? Because she's not Heavenly Wolf Guard. She's an outsider. So here's the fun question. How do you know if what she told you is true or false? He started laying it out like a chess master. Maybe the commander deliberately leaked fake information through her. Maybe that second-rank immortal ISR spy. Maybe he isn't. What I do know is that your side came here specifically to recover that immortal's body. 80 years ago, you brought back another frozen expert. Only 4th rank back then, and he recovered completely after some medicine. Now he's probably 3rd rank. That success is exactly why you planned this mission. The fourth prince and everyone else looked terrible. Copper One had just turned our own intelligence into a weapon of doubt. If the immortal was really a rogue spy, bringing him back would be handing the enemy a second-rank powerhouse. But if Copper One was lying to make us abandon the mission, the Heavenly Wolf Guard was devious. True information mixed with false, impossible to tell apart. Hundreds of 7th-rank agents deployed. Was that proof it was real, or was the massive deployment itself the deception? Let's not rush, Copper One said smoothly. How about we settle the water Bodhi situation first? The fourth prince matched his smile. Sure, water Bodhi first. Then he turned to me with a very serious face. Constable Yang, this task falls to you. Bring back the water Bodhi for Zhao, and the court will reward you handsomely. My face froze. I caught Li Huai smirking in the corner of my eye. That's why this rat was so happy to see me earlier. He wanted me to be the one risking my life on the death pool. Fourth prince, I cannot make the round trip in one breath, I said, bowing respectfully. Every iron guard went silent. I just refused the fourth prince to his face. Qi Qingyao and the others were stunned too. An eighth-rank constable turning down a direct order? The fourth prince's face darkened. Before he could speak, I continued. But, if someone works with me, we might actually pull this off. I want Li Huai as my partner. We approach from different directions, return from different directions. If the monster attacks, at least one of us makes it back alive. Li Huai's face went from smug to ghost white in half a second. Fourth prince, please reconsider, he blurted desperately. Surely we can discuss this further and form a more detailed plan. We're running out of time, the fourth prince said coldly. Constable Yang's method could work. You draw the monster's attention. He grabs the fruit. If you succeed, both of you get rewarded. Everyone suddenly realized something. This friendly, gentle fourth prince? The moment national interests were on the line, our lives meant nothing to him. Li Huai was sweating buckets. He'd recommended me for this suicide mission, and it backfired spectacularly. I walked up to him, gently patted his shoulder, and whispered in his ear, You picked this fight, Huai. His face was the color of dirt. Right then, boom. Something massive burst out of a side tunnel. A giant creature shaped like an oversized loach, covered in slime, head the size of a cow, fangs gleaming like daggers. It attacked everyone indiscriminately. Crossbow bolts just slid right off its slimy body. Within seconds, several 7th-rank fighters were bitten in half or tail-whipped into the freezing pool, where the tentacle monster finished them off. I looked at this thing and thought, it's like that loach I killed in the Tianyuan River, except that one was a baby compared to this nightmare. I slapped Li Huai across the face to snap him out of his daze and ran. Retreat, the fourth prince shouted, already moving as fast as me. Turns out when he stopped pretending, this guy was scary fast. Li Huai stood there stunned from my slap for a good second before realizing everyone had already fled. He started running and cursing at the same time. There were multiple tunnels around the pool. Nobody was being picky, just dive into whichever one was closest. I sprinted into one and kept going without looking back. Then I heard something behind me. I turned around. Several warriors were running behind me in full panic mode. And behind them, the giant loach, squeezing through the tunnel. Am I really this unlucky? I put everything into my legs. Pretty sure they were literally smoking. Eventually the sounds behind me faded. Heavy breathing. I stopped to check who survived. Yin Ruo, one Iron Guard constable, and Nangongyu. He was gasping for air, relieved the monster was gone. Then he looked around and saw me. And Yin Ruo, and another Iron Guard. 3 against 1. In a tunnel, with nowhere to run. Am I really this unlucky? He muttered. Funny. That's exactly what I just said. Nangongyu, didn't expect our bond to be this deep, I said, pulling out my pickaxe. Yun Ruo and the other Iron Guard drew their blades. 3 of us, triangle formation, him in the middle. Nowhere to run. Wait, Nangongyu threw up his hands. I know the Heavenly Wolf Guard's real purpose. Spare me, and I'll tell you everything. Go ahead, I said. You'll let me go if I talk? Absolutely not, Yun Ruo said flatly. You die today. We already know the Heavenly Wolf Guard's objective. You're just Copper 5. You don't know anything Copper 1 hasn't already told us. Your intel is worthless. She warned me and the other Iron Guard. He'll fight like a cornered animal. Just surround him. Don't trade blows. Nangongyu was panicking now. His brain was working overtime, and he blurted out his last card. I'll give you a list of every rogue spy I know. I'll defect. Become your double agent. The list is my proof of loyalty. If I betray you, just send it to the wrong side, and they'll kill me themselves. THWIP. A crossbow bolt silently buried itself in Nangongyu's neck. Not from me. Not from Yin Ruo. From the other Iron Guard, who immediately turned and sprinted down a side tunnel without looking back. Another rogue spy. In our own squad. Standing right next to us. Yun Ruo's eyes went wide. Officer Yun, I said with a complicated expression, how many spies does our Iron Garment Division have exactly? She had no answer for that. Nangong Yu collapsed to his knees, blood foaming from his mouth. He managed to rasp out one final thing. The way out. There are two paths. Then he died. Two exits. Which matched what I'd been suspecting. There were two ways in and two ways out of the Waterchilling cave. The fourth prince probably planned to leave through the second exit. But if the Rong knew about it too, there'd be an ambush waiting. I kept that thought to myself. No point giving Yun Ruo bad theories without proof. I searched Nangong Yu's body, got a hand crossbow, some silver, and a few pounds of rare herbs. Split the herbs with Yun Ruo. I was about to head back the way we came when boom. The entire mountain shook. Yun Ruo and I crouched low, riding out the earthquake. When it stopped, we rushed back toward our entry tunnel. Completely collapsed. Sealed shut. Both our faces went pale. Could we dig through? Sure, with enough time, maybe half a day. But we did not have half a day. We'd already been in Calamity Valley for at least 30 minutes. Another 30 and we had to be out, or the Waterchilling would wake up and kill everything breathing. Find another way, I said. We moved fast. My memory was sharp enough to remember every path we'd taken, so at least we weren't wasting time going in circles. We're going deeper, I muttered, frowning. If we can't find a way out soon, we'll have to just pick a direction and dig. Then the ground trembled again. This time it felt different. A chill shot up from my feet straight to the top of my skull. Every hair on my body stood up. The floor collapsed. Not cracking, full-on disintegrating. Layer after layer of the mountain's interior caving in like a house of cards. Yun Ruo and I were in free fall, riding chunks of rubble down into the darkness. I managed to crouch on a massive piece of debris, surfing it down. We dropped at least several dozen meters before slamming into the bottom. The impact sent me flying 15 meters. Good thing I'd already activated my Diamond King technique. My organs were rattled, but nothing serious. Yun Ruo wasn't so lucky. She was covered in dust and cuts, and her right foot was pinned under a massive boulder. Her face was white as paper, but she didn't make a sound. Just looked at me calmly. My foot is broken. I can't get out. Find the exit and leave without me. I scanned the area. Rubble everywhere. No enemies. No beasts. Then I grabbed my pickaxe and went straight for her. A few precise strikes, and the boulder cracked open, freeing her foot. She couldn't hold back a muffled groan. Sweat poured down her face. I reached for her boot to check the injury. Yun Ruo's face went bright red, and she yanked her foot away. Don't look. The ankle is shattered, I can tell. Fine then. I offered her my wound medicine. She waved it off and took her own bone-healing pills instead. These work better on fractures, she said. But they won't kick in fast enough. You should go find the exit. I'll figure something out on my own. I looked at her ankle. It was crushed, visibly deformed. Figure something out? She couldn't even stand, let alone walk. I'll carry you, I said, pulling her up. My ears caught a faint sound somewhere ahead. I immediately moved toward it, half carrying Yun Ruo at full speed. She weighed maybe 100 pounds, basically nothing to me. She seemed genuinely shocked that I wasn't leaving her behind. Something shifted in her expression. Some kind of thought crossed her mind that made her go quiet for a moment. Constable Yang, if I make it out of here alive, shoo. Something's ahead. I signaled her to be quiet and crept toward the sound. We found another massive ice chamber. Freezing cold. And inside, a whole squad of warriors standing in formation. All wearing white combat uniforms. All armed to the teeth. And they smelled like fire oil. Another Heavenly Wolf unit? They had more people hidden down here. Fire oil. Did they cause the collapse? Does the Rong tribe have explosives? My face darkened. Then I started scanning their stat panels one by one. And then I spotted something that made my blood run cold. One of them had a level. That wasn't an NPC. That was a player. Looks like players really do spawn on the Rong tribe's side. The Divine Realm leaderboard must be region-locked. I checked this guy's stat panel. Name: Yu Chunshun class. Cultist level. 27 strength. 19/agility. 18/spirit. 7 faction. Divine Immortal Cult cultist? Divine Immortal Cult? I remember Zhang Xindao mentioning that name. It was a real-world cult that had popped up recently. This guy was an actual cult member who'd managed to get a class from joining them. My blood went cold. Right now, millions of players were stuck without a class, unable to level up. If joining this cult gave you a class, their recruitment numbers would explode. Copper One strolled in with his crew, spotted the white uniformed squad, and smiled. 13, you're right on time. We have plenty of time to retreat. Zhao Zheng and his people are blocked outside. No worries. Copper 13. There was a whole other Copper rank operative running this show. A young man in white stepped forward and saluted Copper 1. Boss, I heard our losses were pretty bad this time. Not terrible. Copper 9 and Copper 4 gave their lives. But if we complete this mission and bring our second rank immortal home, their sacrifice was worth it. Then Copper 1 looked at Yu Chunshun. You must be Brother Yu? I hear these explosives were your divine immortal cult's contribution. Yu Chunshun smiled modestly. Our cult leader obtained this technique from the immortals. Nothing special, as long as it helps the Heavenly Wolf Guard. After this mission succeeds, we expect you to honor your promise. Help us establish cult branches everywhere. And your enemy Zhao? Our cult leader doesn't consider them a threat. Going forward, the cult leader will cooperate closely with your organization. Give us cultivation pills, spirit pills, martial techniques. And the cult leader will supply unlimited explosives. There's nothing explosives can't flatten. My heart nearly stopped. The cult leader was definitely a player too. One who knew how to make explosives. And the divine realm had all the raw materials needed. With the Heavenly Wolf Guard's resources gathering those materials, combined with a player who understood chemistry. I imagined sitting at home eating dinner and getting blown to pieces. The divine immortal cult had to be destroyed. No question. Yun Ruo's face was equally grim. Those explosions that collapsed the tunnels earlier? That was the explosives they were talking about. Even a martial arts grandmaster couldn't create that kind of destruction. Divine immortal cult, she murmured, burning the name into her memory. Copper 13's people found the target almost immediately. We found the predecessor. Everyone rushed to one corner of the ice chamber. Several meters down, a figure sat cross-legged, frozen solid. He looked about 40, with an ethereal, sage-like appearance. Even after centuries of being frozen, he looked perfectly preserved. Yu Chunshun, blast the ice open. Control the dose, don't damage his body, Copper 13 ordered. Now I understood. Copper 1 was never the real leader of this operation. He was a decoy to draw Zhao's attention. Copper 13 and this hidden squad were the ones executing the actual mission. Yu Chunshun directed the Heavenly Wolf fighters to drill holes around the ice, placed his explosives carefully, calculating measurements as he worked. Yun Ruo glanced at me. I could see in her eyes she'd accepted the truth. That 9 Immortals Dao Palace's second-rank immortal really was a wrong spy. Otherwise they wouldn't go through this much trouble. Her expression was heavy. A second-rank immortal joining the enemy would be devastating for Zhao. But she didn't say anything. Neither did I. 2 of us against 100-plus 7th-rank fighters, a copper-rank commander, and explosives? We couldn't stop this. But we could escape. I'd noticed something. Copper 1's group came through a narrow tunnel. That had to be the second exit Nangong Yu mentioned with his dying breath. They weren't worried about the water Chilant's awakening because they had another way out. And there was a guard posted inside that tunnel. Confirmation. I signaled to Yun Ruo with hand gestures. When the explosion happens, I carry you into that tunnel. She understood instantly and nodded. Yu Chunshun lit the fuse. Everyone backed up. Boom. The second the blast roared through the chamber, I moved. Grabbed Yun Ruo and shot into the tunnel like a ghost. The explosion covered every sound I made. Nobody noticed a thing. The Heavenly Wolf fighters were all clutching their ears, faces pale. Even veteran 7th-rank warriors had never experienced anything like explosives before. When the dust cleared, the ice around the immortal was cracked perfectly, still frozen enough to keep him preserved, but loose enough to dig out by hand. Yu Chunshun admired his handiwork with a smug grin. Impressive, Copper 1 nodded. Get him out carefully. We're leaving. Meanwhile, Yun Ruo and I were already deep inside the tunnel. 2 guards had been posted at the entrance. 2 armor-piercing throwing knives through 2 foreheads. Dead before they could make a sound. Yun Ruo looked at me with a mix of shock and admiration. I'd read the tunnel layout in a split second and executed perfectly. We pushed deeper until I spotted another freezing pool. And from the other side, voices. Familiar voices. Dig faster. We have to get out through here, or we're all dead. The 4th prince. Yun Ruo's eyes lit up. I did some quick time calculations and turned to her. Take a water-repelling pill and swim through this pool. Your broken foot won't slow you down much underwater. This pool is the second exit. There might be rogue ambushers outside, though. Swim as far as you can before surfacing. What about you? I'm digging through this collapse to reach the fourth prince. Go. Be careful. She swallowed the pill and disappeared into the dark water. I pulled out my pickaxe and started hammering through the blocked tunnel with everything I had, shouting to the other side to let them know I was coming. On the other side, the fourth prince, Qi Qingyao, and the others heard my voice. Relief washed over every single face. 5 meters of blockage. Based on how far away the fourth prince's voice sounds, I started digging like a madman. The tunnel reeked of gunpowder, definitely Yu Chuanchuan's handiwork. But I figured out something important. That frozen second-rank immortal couldn't have been blasted out instantly. They'd still need time to manually dig him free, which meant I had a small window to break through this tunnel. My pickaxe was a blur. 1 meter, 2 meters, 3. The passage opened up at visible speed. Footsteps behind me. Not many. Probably the first group of rogue fighters heading this way to evacuate. From the other side, the fourth prince's team was hacking away with swords and blades. Who's there? Someone shouted from behind me. I flicked a throwing knife backwards without even looking. Thud. Problem solved. A few more swings, and BREAKTHROUGH. The fourth prince squeezed through first, then everyone else poured in after him. That's when Copper 13 and Copper 1 arrived from the other direction. Behind them, soldiers were carrying a massive ice block with the frozen immortal inside. You again? Copper 1's eyes moved between me and the fourth prince. Both sides faced off in the narrow tunnel. The freezing pool sat right in the middle between us. The fourth prince took one look at the ice-encased body and understood everything. That immortal really is yours. We got played. Copper 1 grinned. Time's running out, isn't it? How about a truce? We all leave together, and if I refuse? I'm not letting you walk away with a second-rank immortal. You die here with us? You're royalty. You wouldn't throw your life away. The fourth prince raised an interesting point. If this immortal is truly your spy, you could have just let us bring him back. He'd wake up inside Zhao, your agent restored for free. Why go through all this trouble? That was actually a great question. Both sides looked confused. Copper 1 just smiled. Only the commander can answer that. Then the fourth prince played his card. You keep implying we're running out of time. But today is only day 8. And this pool connects to the outside. It's an exit route. We could sit here for 10 more hours and still leave safely. You were trying to hide that from me, weren't you? Copper 1's face went dark. My brain clicked. He was right. If the pool was a safe exit, the 1-hour deadline was meaningless. We'd skip the entire frozen wasteland journey. No wonder both sides treated this tunnel as their escape route. But this also meant we were absolutely going to fight. My eyes drifted to Yu Chuanchuan. That cultist was doing something sneaky with his hands. I palmed a throwing knife and hurled it at him without warning. My strength and speed were leagues above his. Nobody on either side expected me to attack first. By the time Copper 1 and Copper 13 raised their crossbows, Yu Chuanchuan was already dead with a knife in his face. He never even knew who killed him. In his hand, a bundle of explosives. Constable Yang, a heads up would have been nice, the fourth prince said with a slight frown. Fourth prince, this guy was from something called the Divine Immortal Cult. That massive collapse earlier? His doing. He was about to do it again. I had to kill him first. Qi Qingyao and the others stared at the dead cultist in disbelief. That scrawny little nobody caused those explosions? Your guards in the tunnel are dead, Copper 1 said, eyes narrowing at me. You didn't come through with the fourth prince's group. You saw us earlier, I smiled. Copper 1, this divine immortal cult is bad news. If the Heavenly Wolf Guard partners with them, it won't end well for you either. You seem to know a lot about them, Copper 13 said suspiciously. Everyone, including the fourth prince, focused on me. I kept my face perfectly calm. I heard about the divine immortal cult back in Yunnan province. It's a cult. Our Iron Garment division will deal with them eventually. Now that he mentions it, I think I've heard of them too. A few Iron Guards chimed in. The fourth prince thought about those massive explosions and suddenly looked very grateful I'd killed that cultist when I did. Enough, Copper 1 lowered his crossbow. We all need to leave. What are your terms? Put the immortal back where you found him, the fourth prince said. Freeze him. Then we leave together peacefully. That's not happening. Copper 1 raised his crossbow and fired. No hesitation. No negotiation. Just war. Copper 13's squad opened fire at the same time. Our side fired back instantly. In this cramped tunnel, it was pure chaos. The fourth prince unleashed his divine mechanism crossbow. Copper 1 and Copper 13 had equally powerful crossbows. Both sides took casualties within the first second. I went berserk with my throwing knives. This was no time to be stingy. I threw every single armor-piercing knife I had. Each one hit hard enough to cripple someone. When those ran out, I switched to regular knives while dodging everything flying at me. Then the pool erupted. The giant loach monster burst out of the water, mouth dripping with blood. The loach. Everyone's spine turned to ice. My first thought, Yin Ruo. She was swimming through that pool. But then the loach spat out a chunk of something black and mangled. I recognized it. That was the tentacle creature from the water Bodhi pool. The loach had been fighting it down there, not chasing Yin Ruo. She might still be safe. Fall back. Both sides screamed simultaneously. For once, Zhao and Rong agreed on something. Run. Everyone retreated down their respective tunnels, grabbing wounded teammates as they went. The loach monster let out this weird hissing screech, and then more black tentacles shot out of the pool and wrapped around it. The loach couldn't escape. It was thrashing and biting, trying to use its slime to wriggle free, but those tentacles held tight. Both sides realized what happened. This pool connected to the water Bodhi pool. The loach had been running from the tentacle creature and ended up here, blocking our exit. Good news, though. If those two monsters were busy fighting each other, they probably ignored Yin Ruo swimming through. I let out a breath of relief. Copper 13 frowned. Our exit is blocked. If they keep fighting, we'll have to take the overland route through the frozen wasteland. Copper 1 made the call instantly. Other route. Now, isn't it too late for that? Would you rather bet on the loach winning quickly, or that the tentacle monster won't camp at the bottom of this pool afterward? This exit is dead. We go back the way we came. The Rong spies retreated like a tidal wave, carrying the frozen immortal with them. The fourth prince could only watch them leave. The loach and tentacles were between us, making pursuit impossible. We leave too, the fourth prince ordered. Original route. Move fast before the water Qilin wakes up. Everyone started retreating. Then someone noticed. Wait, where's Yang Ling? Dongfang Haojie spoke up. Constable Yang saw the loach monster and ran so fast he vanished. Seems Constable Yang forgot his duties, Li Huai sneered, watching the fourth prince's reaction. The fourth prince looked annoyed but didn't dwell on it. Everyone evacuated. Meanwhile, I was sprinting through the tunnels at maximum speed. My supernatural perception gave me perfect direction sense. I didn't take a single wrong turn, following the marks the fourth prince's group left on their way in. I burst out of the tunnel, and there it was. The pool, the mist, and floating right there, the water Bodhi. Freeze already. I stood perfectly still, waiting for the pool to ice over. The underwater exit was useless now. Even if the monsters disappeared, nothing could make me swim through that death trap. I was taking the overland route back. But this water Bodhi? I was grabbing it on my way out. Then I heard footsteps approaching from behind. The fourth prince's group was catching up fast. I pulled out my invisibility talisman. I'd been saving this thing since forever and never used it. Please work. Please don't fail me now. I channeled my chi into it. The talisman burst into flame and a thin energy wrapped around my entire body. I looked down at my hands. Nothing. Completely invisible. 5 minutes. That's all I get. Should be enough. The fourth prince's group emerged from the tunnel. First thing they did? Look at the water Bodhi. Still there. Everyone relaxed. Li Huai scanned the area for me. Nothing. The fourth prince looked around too. No sign of me anywhere. His expression softened slightly. At least I hadn't run off specifically to steal the fruit. I was standing right there, maybe 10 meters away, holding my breath. Heart pounding. Nobody reacted. The talisman worked. Qi Qingyao turned to the fourth prince. The underwater monster is fighting the loach. This is our best chance to grab the water Bodhi. We should split it equally between the 4 sects and Zhao, Chinzwa said. Dongfang Haojie and Huikong nodded in agreement. Fine, the fourth prince agreed. We'll work out the details after we leave. Interesting, the 4 sects really did treat themselves as equals to the entire nation of Zhao. Probably because they had first-rank land immortals backing them up. Strategic-level weapons, basically. Like nuclear deterrence, but with old men who could punch mountains. Split it, Qi Qingyao frowned. I thought the rule was whoever's fastest gets it. Before anyone could argue, the pool froze. All 5 top fighters launched toward the water Bodhi instantly. But the 4th prince was something else entirely. He moved like a dragon through water, blowing past all 4 sect leaders. Li Huai and the other iron guards washed with jaws on the floor. The prince was even stronger than they imagined. But then, 1 meter from the fruit, it just vanished. Who? The 4th prince roared, spinning around and racing back to shore. The other 4 immediately retreated too. Smart. The ice was already melting. If the underwater monster was still active, anyone on the water was dead. All 5 barely made it to the edge, having to hop across the water surface to reach solid ground. 4th prince, where did the water Bodhi go? Qi Qingyao asked seriously. I don't know. It just disappeared. I didn't take it. Maybe the fruit was never real, Chun's was suggested. Could have been bait the monster used to lure prey. Everyone nodded. Yeah, that made sense. Probably a trap all along. The 4th prince cut the discussion short. Let's go. They all rushed toward the exit. Meanwhile, I was already outside Ice Mist Mountain, running like lightning toward the valley entrance. Zero hesitation. Zero looking back. And that water Bodhi? Already in my mouth. Didn't even chew. Just swallowed it whole like a pill. What's the safest pocket? My stomach. The instant it hit my belly, a volcanic eruption of warm energy exploded through every inch of my body. My whole body shivered as the water Bodhi hit my system. I was sprinting out of Calamity Valley at full speed while watching my stat panel go absolutely insane. Everything was climbing. Level experience. Inner cultivation experience. Martial technique proficiency. Chi blood. Health points. All of it. Rising simultaneously. Nonstop. Go, go, go. I was excited and nervous watching every number tick upward. How long would this last? Based on everything I'd heard about the water Bodhi, one of the 12 holy medicines, I knew I'd just swallowed the biggest prize in the entire Water Qilin cave. This one fruit was going to change my entire growth trajectory. The frozen wasteland outside was empty. All the warriors who hadn't entered the cave had already fled. Some giant creatures were waking up, but the post-hibernation sluggishness kept them slow. Not my problem. I had numbers to watch. The warm energy inside me showed zero signs of weakening. My 3 inner cultivation techniques, Diamond King, Divine Ape Visualization, and Heavenly Will True Scripture, were all gaining experience at roughly 1 point per second. My 4 combat techniques were doing the same. 1 point per second, 60 per minute, 3,600 per hour. Even if the effect only lasted 1 hour, that would be insane. But come on, this was one of the 12 holy medicines. No way it was only an hour. The effect had to be way stronger than I was imagining. Will it give free attribute points too? That Diamond Bodhi from Luoan Temple was just a defective knockoff with only 1/10 effectiveness, and it still gave me 5 strength and 500 health. Then it happened. The Heavenly Will True Scripture hit 100 experience and broke through to the 1st level. Congratulations. Heavenly Will True Scripture advanced to Initial Glimpse. Initial Glimpse. 10 spirit power, warmth flooded into the space between my eyebrows. My spirit power rocketed from 90 to 100. Spirit power broke 100. The world around me suddenly became crystal clear in a way it had never been before. Snowflakes falling from the sky, tiny creatures moving beneath the snow, even the patterns in the biting wind. Everything seemed to slow down. Like time itself was giving me extra frames to process reality. This is a qualitative change. Breaking 100 in spirit wasn't just a bigger number. It was a completely different level of perception. Would strength and agility have the same breakthrough effect at 100? I couldn't wait to find out. But that was a question for later. Shortly after I left Calamity Valley, the 4th Prince and Copper One's groups also burst out of Ice Mist Mountain. Neither side attacked. Both had the same priority. Get out before the Water Qilin woke up. Fighting would be stupid right now. They exchanged cold looks and ran in their separate directions, the Rong spies carrying their frozen immortal with them. My invisibility talisman wore off a few minutes in. By then, my stat panel had already changed dramatically. The Heavenly Will True Scripture was the biggest winner. After reaching Initial Glimpse, it only needed 1,000 more experience for the next level. The water Bodhi had already pushed it past 200. In maybe 15 more minutes, it would break through again, giving me another 20 spirit points. That would put me at 120. My health had already passed 2,000. Chi blood was up over 300 points from where it started, and it was still climbing. I kept checking the ice stalactites above to make sure I was running in a straight line. One wrong turn in this frozen wasteland, and I'd never make it out in time. My enhanced perception spread outward like radar, scanning for any approaching danger. I blew past a group of older Zhao 7th rank warriors. They sensed me coming, but before they could even turn their heads, I was gone, vanished into the blizzard. What speed was that? I heard one of them gasp behind me. 15 minutes later, ding. Congratulations. Heavenly will true scripture advanced to thorough understanding. Thorough understanding. 20 spirit power. Another massive wave of warmth crashed into my forehead. Spirit power jumped from 100 to 120. My perception sharpened again. Not as dramatic as the 100-point breakthrough, but still significant. In raw stats, I've already surpassed the 4th prince and everyone else. My points are just concentrated in spirit instead of strength and agility. This was pure base attributes, not temporary buffs. In spiritual power, I'd now exceeded every single divine realm native I'd encountered. People who'd been training for decades longer than me. 120 spirit means 12 proficiency points per hour when training martial techniques. And my inner cultivation experience cap should be around 60 per hour now. A wave of security washed over me. Even if I never got another pill or treasure, even if I just found a cave and trained alone for a few years, I'd come out as a genuine powerhouse. All the risks, all the near-death experiences, they'd finally given me a solid floor to build on. My other techniques had all gained over 1,000 points of experience too. Not game-changing by themselves, but the divine ape visualization was creeping closer to its 10,000-point milestone. Then I noticed something on my stat panel. 2 numbers had stopped moving. Health and Chi blood had frozen. Health, 3,200. Chi blood, 1,500. 3 times what I started with. The water body's effect on those 2 stats had reached its limit, but everything else was still climbing. 200 health, minus the 200 from my Iron Guard rank bonus, means my base health is 3,000. 1 point of strength gives 10 health, which means I basically got the equivalent of 300 strength points worth of tankiness. My health pool might rival actual boss-level creatures now. And the Chi blood tripling to 1,500? Massive. Chi blood fueled everything. Offense, defense, special techniques. Ice blade cost 3 points per use. Diamond indestructible body needed it constantly. This stat was probably going to be crucial for breaking into higher ranks. 6th, 5th, 4th grade. I was still 7th rank, but my Chi blood was already way above everyone at my level. The warm energy inside me showed no signs of fading. Health and Chi blood had hit their ceiling, but everything else was still climbing. 1 hour after swallowing the water bodhi, the divine ape visualization had jumped from 4,870 experience to 8,470, almost at the 10,000 breakthrough. Half an hour more and it'll hit masterful level. That's 40 more spirit points. Every cell in my body was vibrating with excitement. A full hour and the effect wasn't weakening at all. Ding. Congratulations. You have leveled up. 1 free attribute point, level 45 to 46. And if the water bodhi kept going, could I hit level 50 and get another treasure chest? My toes were trembling. Isn't that Big Brother Yang? Zhang Shindao spotted me in the distance and waved. I blew past them like they were standing still. Didn't even hear them. Mian Jingdong watched me disappear and said grimly, if Constable Yang is running that fast, something dangerous must be coming. Move it. Li Shou and the others didn't need to be told twice. 30 minutes later, ding. Congratulations. Divine Ape visualization advanced to masterful. Masterful. 40 spirit power. My whole body shook. A river of energy crashed into my forehead. For a split second, I felt dizzy. Then it cleared, and my spirit power had erupted from 120 to 160. I could sense snowflakes landing 100 meters away. Every tiny sound, every micro-movement in the environment, all crystal clear, like the whole world was running in slow motion just for me. In barely over an hour, my spirit went from 90 to 160. The water bodhi deserved every bit of its holy medicine reputation. The heavenly will true scripture was at 4,000-something experience now, creeping toward its own masterful breakthrough. When that happened, 160 would become 200. 200 spirit would crush every single fighter I've ever seen, including Su Wuji next to the fourth prince. And that guy has 191 agility. Quick sanity check though, would spirit power count toward martial rank? If it did, hitting 100 should have woken the water Qilin. I extended my perception outward. Everything was calm. No angry mythical beast coming to eat me. Thank God these two techniques only boosted spirit. If they'd boosted agility instead, I'd be face to face with a very cranky water Qilin right now. The Diamond King technique had passed 10,000 experience too, but needed 100,000 for the next level. Long way to go. Time kept passing. I kept running. The warm energy kept flowing. Numbers kept climbing. Another 30 minutes. Ding. Level up. 1 free attribute point. Nice. I barely reacted this time. Just kept running. The excitement bar was getting full. Then, roughly an hour later, the warmth vanished. Instantly. Like someone flipped a switch. 1 second it was a roaring furnace inside me. The next, nothing. 2 final notifications popped up simultaneously. Congratulations. Level up. 1 free attribute point. Congratulations. You have received 30 free attribute points. 30 free attribute points. The Heavenly Will scripture almost broke through to Masterful. Missed it by just 300 experience. Heartbreaking, but I wasn't complaining. Not today. 3 hours. That's how long the water Bodhi lasted. In 3 hours, it gave me 3 level ups, 45 to 48. The Diamond King, Divine Ape, and Heavenly Will scripture each got 10,800 experience. For combat techniques got 10,800 proficiency each. Chi blood tripled to 1,500. Health hit 3,000 base. Collapsing Mountain Fist broke through to Masterful as a bonus. And 33 free attribute points sitting in my pocket waiting to be spent. I stared at my stat panel. Yang Ling, level 48 Constable, Beast Tamer, free attribute points. 33 Strength, 24/Agility, 73, 20/Spirit, 160 Diamond King, Masterful, 15, for 30/100, 000 Divine Ape Visualization, Masterful, 5, 670/100, 000 Heavenly Will Scripture, Thorough Understanding, 9, 700/10, 000 Collapsing Mountain, Fist, Masterful, 1, 502/100, 000 Tiger Capture Blade, Masterful, 11, 626/100, 000 Void Treading Steps, Masterful, 66, 006/100, 000 12 Golden Legs, Masterful, 11, for 63/100, 000 Heavens Will Divine Blade, Thorough Understanding, 0/10, 000 Health, 3,200, 200/Chi Blood, 1,500 The Heavenly Will scripture needed just 300 more experience to break through. 300. Once it did, that was another 40 spirit points, pushing me to 200. My heart was pounding. This single fruit had transformed me from a strong 7th rank fighter into something else entirely. Something the people in this world hadn't seen before. 33 free attribute points. Where do they go? Strength. No question. My explosive power was my weakest link. I dumped all 33 points into strength. 24 became 57. Wave after wave of warmth surged through my body. My bones were getting denser. I could actually perceive it happening with my enhanced senses. Muscles were thickening. And, did I just get taller? With 160 spirit and superhuman perception, if I felt taller, I was taller. About 1 centimeter. Not enough to rip my clothes, thank God. But if I kept pumping strength to 1 or 200, I might go from 180 centimeters to 190 centimeters. Late-stage growth spurred at my age. Nice. I pushed off the ground with my new legs and holy. The speed boost was incredible. Strength and agility weren't separate stats in practice. More leg power meant faster sprinting. Simple physics. Took me about 30 minutes of running to fully calibrate my new body. Everything was coming together beautifully. Once I got out of here, I had 21 cultivation pills plus 150 more from the 7-inch sword trade. That was 171 pills, enough to push Diamond King technique to the 4th level. Just 1 pill for the Heavenly Will scripture to break through too. Life was looking good. Then my ears twitched. Something was wrong. I activated Diamond Indestructible Body at full power. A split second later, an iron rope exploded out of the snow directly at shin height. I was going too fast to dodge. My legs smashed straight through it, dragging the rope, and the two idiots holding it, forward over a dozen meters. They went flying out of their snow hideout like ragdolls. I checked my legs. Pants torn, shallow cut on the skin. Health bar didn't even flicker. But without my diamond body active, at that speed, that rope would have sliced my legs clean off. The two guys scrambled up from the snow. Stargazing Academy uniforms. Oh, Constable Yang? One of them bowed frantically. We thought you were a wild beast. Your speed, we couldn't even see you. Terribly sorry. The other one laughed nervously. Haha. What a misunderstanding. Meanwhile, 100 meters to my left, I could hear their friends whispering. My 160 spirit picked up everything. His legs are made of iron. Is my rope defective? No way. I had it custom forged with red gold. It should cut through any 7th rank warrior's legs. He must practice body hardening techniques. He does movement arts, throwing knives, and body hardening. When does he sleep? Good thing those two reacted fast and claimed it was a mistake. I smiled. You seem reluctant to leave, I said calmly. So don't. Before either could blink, I appeared in front of them. Both palms came down on their skulls simultaneously. Crack, crack. Blood poured from all 7 orifices. Dead instantly. With just Diamond King's boost, my effective strength hits 117. That's enough to split any skull that hasn't been specifically reinforced. The 33 points in strength had given my attacks a qualitative upgrade. 100 meters away, dead silence. 5 Stargazing Academy disciples stared at each other in disbelief. Is he insane? He's an Iron Guard. He can't just kill Zhao warriors. We'll report him when we get out. Keep your voice down. If he comes over here, we're all dead. Wait. Is he coming this way? No way. We're 100 meters out. He can't know we're here. He turned. Just a coincidence. Thank God. All 5 exhaled with relief. They were lower and mid-7th rank. Against someone who'd beaten the 4 sex top fighters, they were nothing. They started creeping away. That's when I appeared from the opposite direction. My kick shattered the first one's skull like a watermelon. Right now I was holding my pickaxe. That's 20 strength. 12 golden legs technique. 18 strength. Diamond King dual attribute boost. 60. Total strength. 155. The second one caught a boot to the face before he even understood what happened. Yang Ling, how dare you? The remaining 3 ran. I caught the closest one in a single breath. Neck, shattered. Turned and chased the other 2. A few breaths later, only one was still alive, on his knees, sobbing. Constable Yang, I was wrong. Spare me. I'll be your servant, your slave, anything. You're not sorry, I said. You're just scared because you know you're about to die. Palm down. Skull cracked. Done. I stood still for a moment, listening carefully with my perception spread to maximum range. No one else nearby. I collected all their bags of herbs, added them to my haul, and resumed sprinting toward the exit. Start to finish? Less than 60 seconds. My silhouette vanished into the blizzard. But I hadn't actually left. About 100 meters away, 2 more Stargazing Academy disciples crawled out of the snow, still clutching rope ends. They'd watched the whole massacre without making a sound. Is he gone? Should be. Their faces were gray with terror. They started whispering about reporting me to the Iron Garment Division, claiming they were innocent and I was a murderer. Real brave talk from guys who'd been hiding in the snow with ambush ropes. Their bags were stuffed full of rare herbs. And nearby, half buried in snow, lay the body of Sect Master He Yang from the Heavenly Star Sect. Both legs broken. Still breathing, but barely. One of the Academy disciples walked up to He Yang casually. Sect Master He, time to go. You people are despicable, He Yang rasped, forcing his eyes open. Then his pupils shrank. He saw something behind the disciple. The Academy disciple sensed danger and spun around with a dagger. Well, his body spun. His head didn't. 2 large hands were clamped on his temples, holding his skull perfectly still while his body twisted itself onto his own blade. Killed by his own knife. Poetic. He Yang laughed out loud for the first time. Ha! Ha! The other Academy disciple was already dead nearby. Neck shortened by a full section, skull caved in. Constable Yang, thank you for avenging me, He Yang said, composing himself. Even as a ghost, I'll burn incense for you. Sect Master He, I said, stepping out from behind the corpse. Would you be willing to serve as a witness for the Iron Garment Division? Testify about what the Stargazing Academy did. Hyang smiled bitterly. My legs are broken. I can't walk out of the Water Qilin cave. How would I testify? Just leave, Constable Yang. The Water Qilin will wake soon. Before he finished talking, I'd already grabbed him with one hand, scooped up the 2 stuffed herb bags, and launched into a full sprint. The snow falling from the sky couldn't even touch us. That's how fast I was moving. Hyang tried to say something, but got a mouthful of wind. He shut up quickly, face full of emotion. Was I really carrying a grown man through the frozen wasteland? Could we actually make it in time? The answer became obvious when we started passing other warriors one after another. These were 7th-rank fighters running at full speed, and I was blowing past them like they were jogging. Day 10, roughly noon. I arrived back at the cold pool with Hyang in tow. A bunch of warriors who'd left early were waiting there. They jumped up when they saw us. Sect Master He, what happened to your legs? These were mostly leaders of third-rate sects. They knew each other well. They'd been smart enough not to push deep into the wasteland and came back early with modest hauls. The Fire Dragon Fish crew was among them. They rushed over to ask what happened. Hyang was furious. Stargazing Academy disciples brought special tripping ropes. They ambushed people on the road, broke my legs, stole my herbs. If Constable Yang hadn't passed by, I'd be dead. Everyone went silent. Shocked faces all around. Then, nothing. Nobody said a word of support. Hyang laughed angrily. You're all scared of Stargazing Academy's retaliation, right? Fine. I'll report to the Iron Garment Division myself. They looked embarrassed. But a second-rate sect with Grandmasters backing it? These small-time 7th-rank warriors weren't about to pick that fight. I need to wait here for the 4th prince, I told the Fire Dragon Fish group. Take Sect Master He back first. Once you board the ship, hand him over to Officer Liu from Yunwan Province. They hesitated, then agreed. I watched them swallow their water-repelling pills and sink into the pool. Then I headed off in another direction. Fast enough that nobody dared follow. I had unfinished business. Those beast ambushes Cui Ying had mentioned, 6th-rank creatures controlled by bone flutes, hidden near the entrance to attack retreating warriors. Copper One had the controlling flutes, but the beasts themselves were still here. I found the first one, a massive frog-like creature, big as a building, crouching under the snow and ice. Silver needle in its forehead. Its stat panel? All question marks. Way above my ability to read. I didn't get close. Threw a knife from maximum range and knocked the needle clean off. The giant frog's eyes snapped open. It looked left, looked right, then jumped Tinzhong straight up and bounced away into the wasteland in seconds. Free. Found the second frog. Same method. Knife throw, needle out, frog gone. Third frog. Same thing. I circled the area a few more times, confirmed all of Copper One's hidden assets were neutralized, then returned to the pool and built a campfire to wait. Warriors kept trickling in. Most decided the Water Qilin was about to wake up and left through the pool. Zhang Shindao and the others arrived. I exchanged a few quick words and sent them on their way immediately. No time for chit-chat. Half a day later, 2 groups appeared in the distance, racing toward the pool from the same direction. The 4th Prince's group and Copper One's group. Copper One pulled out a bone flute. He looked at the 4th Prince's people with absolute confidence and slowly began to play. That's a bone flute. Copper One knows beast taming too, Li Huai screamed. We were only 100 meters from the escape pool. If Copper One summoned beasts now, we'd be cut off from retreat. The 4th Prince's eyes went cold. Ignore it. Take your water-repelling pills. Sprint for the pool. The Water Qilin is about to wake up. Everyone popped their pills and ran like their lives depended on it, because they did. Copper One blew that flute while running. The sound drifted across the wasteland, and 3 enormous creatures came bouncing in from the distance. Giant frogs. Each jump covered Tinzhong, sending up explosions of snow. Every landing shook the ground. What the hell are those? Dongfang Haojia looked back once, and his speed tripled from pure terror. Azura frogs, the 4th Prince gasped. Copper 13 grinned. Let's give them a little appetizer. His squad pulled out crossbows to harass the retreating Zhao forces. But I was already there, throwing knives flying. One rogue spy took a blade straight through the heart and dropped as a frozen corpse on the spot. The 4th Prince saw my covering fire and kept running. Good. Get out. Copper 13 turned all his firepower on me. Crossbow bolts came screaming in waves. I dodged through them like it was a dance, weaving, ducking, slashing back with my blade. One man holding down an entire squad. Kill Yongling, Copper 13 roared. Every encounter with me had cost them dearly, and now one guy with cheap throwing knives was pinning down his whole team. Heaven gave you a road and you refused to take it, Copper once said. Eyes like ice, bone flute playing louder. Their original plan was just to pick off a few Zhao warriors during retreat. But when I volunteered myself as a target, Copper 1 switched priorities immediately. Killing me was worth more than killing Dongfang Haojia and the rest combined. Everyone watching thought I was dead. Dongfang Haojia sighed internally. He's done for. Qi Qingyao's group saw it too. Crossbow fire from behind. 3 massive frogs from the front. Run? Get shot in the back. Stay? Get eaten. The 3 Azura frogs arrived. Copper 13 laughed coldly. Yongling, today you die. Then the frogs shot out their tongues. Not at me. At Copper 1. Long, sticky tongues wrapped around his arms and legs from 3 directions. The bone flute clattered to the ground. 3 frogs, 3 different angles, all trying to swallow the same person. Copper 13's jaw dropped. The silver needles are gone. He made the call instantly. Retreat. Protect the second-rank immortal. Leave Copper 1. They abandoned their leader without a second of hesitation and ran for the pool. The 4th prince skidded to a halt. Stop them. Don't let them take the immortal. He charged straight at Copper 13. Li Huai and the others reluctantly followed. Qi Qingyao's group exchanged looks and joined in. A second-rank immortal joining the enemy was bad news for everyone. Why? Whyy, Copper 1 screamed, face purple, being slowly pulled apart by 3 very hungry frogs. I laughed. Chuang told me about your ambush. I got here early and pulled out all the silver needles. When you blew that flute, you weren't summoning servants. You were ringing the dinner bell. Turns out beast taming has a nasty backlash when the beasts are free. Have a good trip down the Yellow Springs Road. You won't be lonely. Understanding dawned on everyone's face. That's why I'd sprinted ahead so fast, not to run away, but to disarm Copper 1's trap before he could spring it. The 4th prince, Li Huai, all of them felt a wave of gratitude. Without me neutralizing those Azura frogs, several of them would have died here today. Meanwhile, the battle was raging. The 4th prince was demolishing Copper 13, same upper 7th rank, but the prince's martial arts were on another level entirely. Copper 13 had to call in his whole squad just to survive. The rest fought Li Huai, the Iron Guards, and the 4 sex champions. Ryup. In the distance, Copper 1 was torn apart. The Azura frogs each got a piece. Then they turned their hungry eyes toward the battle. 4th prince. Time to go. The frogs are coming for us next, I shouted. I also spotted the ice-encased immortal. Most of the protective ice had melted. And then I heard it, boom. A single heartbeat like an ancient temple bell, shaking my skull, scattering my thoughts. The second-rank immortal is waking up. I dove into the pool without another word. The 4th prince's group disengaged immediately. Everyone sprinted for the pool. Copper 13's side did the same. Nobody was stupid enough to stick around for Azura frogs and a reviving immortal. Both sides leaped into the water one after another. Splash after splash after splash. Copper 13 personally took the ice sculpture from his subordinates and jumped in, clutching the frozen immortal to his chest. He glanced back and saw the frogs catching a few of his stragglers. A quiet sigh. At least the mission was complete. As long as he carried this body out. I burst out of the pool like a breaching whale and delivered a massive flying kick straight into the ice sculpture. Get lost. The frozen immortal went sailing through the air, crashing down over 10 zhong away. Copper 13's face went blank with shock. Before he could react, I slapped him so hard he flew back onto the shore. Then I dove back into the pool and vanished. Copper 13 was livid. He wanted to retrieve the frozen immortal, but the Azura frogs were already charging at him. F your mother, he screamed and dove into the pool after me. A few Iron Guard stragglers saw the whole thing. Beautiful. Behind us, the frozen immortal's heartbeat was getting louder. Then, a howling sound erupted from deep within the wasteland. The temperature plummeted. The entire frozen plain started refreezing at visible speed, layer upon layer of ice forming instantly. The cold hit the ice sculpture and froze it solid again. Heartbeat, silenced. The three Azura frogs dropped flat, trembling, then froze into statues. Then the pool started freezing. I looked back through the water and saw ice racing toward me. Several slower swimmers got caught, frozen solid mid-stroke. Done. Dead. I channeled everything into one explosive burst, shooting through the water like a torpedo. Behind me, a shockwave of bubbles. Copper 13 was swimming desperately too. He caught a glimpse of me rocketing past, and I could practically taste his hatred. Yang Ling, I will never forgive you. Yeah. Take a number. I caught up with Qi Qingyao's group in the underwater tunnel. They stared as I blew past them. How is he this fast in water too? Li Huai was dumbfounded. On land, fine. But swimming, I pulled up alongside the fourth prince and matched his pace, taking a protective escort position. But my perception was locked on what was happening behind us. If that freezing wave caught up, I was ditching everyone and saving myself. Sorry, Prince. We made it out into the Tianyuan River. Then Qi Qingyao's group emerged. Then Copper 13's people. Right after they cleared the tunnel, the entire passage froze shut behind them. One Rong spy only made it halfway out. Upper body in the river, lower body entombed in ice. He reached out toward Copper 13 for help. Within one breath, his face went white, frost covered his pupils, and he was dead. A 7th-rank warrior, frozen and killed instantly. Not even good enough to be preserved like those ancient masters. I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the water. If I'd been even a little slower. The fourth prince looked at Copper 13's group. No ice sculpture. No frozen immortal. He smiled. The entire Heavenly Wolf Guard operation, hundreds of agents exposed, multiple Copper rank operatives dead, and they came away with nothing. Copper 13 glared at me one final time, then swam away with his remaining people. We surfaced near the Canal Gang's ships. Zhang Shindao and the others scanned the water anxiously until they spotted me next to the fourth prince. Relief flooded their faces. Yun Ruo was standing on deck with a treated ankle, next to Lu Chengchen. When she saw me surface safely, the tension drained from her expression. She didn't say anything, just watched quietly. The big shots gathered on the fourth prince's ship. The mood was heavy. The 6th-rank leaders from every faction had clearly been briefed on everything that happened inside. Stargazing Academy's Gu Weizhou stood with an iron-dark face. He'd sent a group of 7th-rank disciples in. Only one came back. He Yang sat nearby, staring at them with a cold smile. Good. My witness was alive and angry. The 4 sect's 6th-rank leaders looked grim too. Li Ruhai from Divine Sect was especially furious about Copper 10 being one of their people. The fourth prince wasted no time. Send the signal. Lock down the Tianyuan River upstream and downstream. Hunt down every remaining Rong spy. Su Wuji whistled, and a massive eagle dove from the sky snatched a bamboo tube from his hand and disappeared over the horizon. 4 naval squadrons were stationed along the river, ready to move on that signal. Officer Lu, the fourth prince smiled at Lu Chengchen. Your Iron Garment Division certainly had its share of traitors. Lu Chengchen and the other officers looked miserable. But the Heavenly Wolf Guard's infiltration methods are well known. I don't blame you. Even the Divine Sect had a Copper 10 in their ranks. The prince glanced at Li Ruhai, who looked like he wanted to crawl into a hole. Fortunately, the fourth prince continued. Iron Garment Division's Constable Yang Ling performed excellently. He killed Copper 4 and Copper 9, 2 Copper rank agents. He turned to me. Well done. Your early retreat from Ice Mist Mountain was to neutralize those Azura frogs Copper 1 had planted, correct? Yes, I bowed. Time was too short to explain. I beg your forgiveness. Forgiveness for what? Copper 1 died because of those freed frogs. That's your achievement too. Li Huai and the other Iron Guards looked complicated. I'd basically swept up all the credit from this mission. Fourth Prince, I added, Copper 5 is also dead, killed by Officer Yun Ruo. There was another spy among our Iron Guards who escaped after killing Copper 5's chance to surrender. He either didn't make it out or fled early. Lu Chengchen looked surprised and turned to Yun Ruo. Why didn't you tell me? Yun Ruo frowned. Copper 5's death wasn't really my doing, it was. Officer Yun, I cut in firmly. Copper 5 died by your hand. Don't be modest. That's a fact. She paused, then nodded slowly. Yes, I killed Copper 5. The fourth prince beamed. So Copper 1, 4, 5 and 9, 4 copper rank agents killed by the Iron Garment Division. You cleaned house quite well, he told Lu Chengchen. Lu Chengchen looked at me with genuine gratitude, then patted Yun Ruo's shoulder. The Iron Garment Division's reputation? Saved. Then Gu Weizhou from Stargazing Academy stepped forward, face like thunder. Fourth Prince, Sect Master Hiyang has accused our disciples of robbery and assault. This slander is unacceptable. We demand justice. The Fourth Prince's expression darkened. Oh, justice again? What happened here? Someone explain, the Fourth Prince said, his gaze landing on Hiyang. Hiyang couldn't stand. His legs were destroyed. He bowed from the ground. Forgive me for not rising, Fourth Prince. Those injuries. That's from a tripping rope, the Fourth Prince said, recognizing it immediately. Hiyang spoke firmly. Stargazing Academy disciples ambushed me with tripping ropes inside the Water-Chilling Cave. If Constable Yang hadn't shown up, I'd be dead. Before me, they'd already attacked many other warriors and stolen their harvests. He stared daggers at Gu Weizhou. Gu Weizhou started protesting. My Stargazing Academy disciples would never. Constable Yang, your turn. The Fourth Prince cut him off. Stargazing Academy disciples were absolutely ambushing warriors along the route, I confirmed. Then I pulled 3 stuffed bags from my waist. These herbs were confiscated from them. Every eye in the crowd locked onto those bags. They were bulging. Zhang Shindao and the others stared in disbelief. Li Shou glanced at his own pathetic bag with its single lonely plant and looked like he wanted to cry. They tried to ambush me too, I continued. After I dealt with them, I found Sect Master he's still alive and brought him back as a witness. Fourth Prince, what these Stargazing Academy disciples did is no different from what the Rong spies do. I cannot determine whether they're actually Rong infiltrators or simply evil people. Gu Weizhou nearly choked. His disciples looked terrified. I just implied they might be traitors. That wasn't just an accusation. That was a death sentence for the entire sect if it stuck. Li Ruhai and the other 6th-rank leaders examined my legs. Sure enough, the same rope marks as Hiyang's. Proof confirmed. Gu Weizhou, does Stargazing Academy have Rong spies? The Fourth Prince asked coldly. Slander, Gu Weizhou sputtered. Our disciples study the classics. We would never betray our nation. Then he glared at me. Why didn't you leave anyone alive? With no living witnesses, this is just your word. Leave them alive? On day 10, with everyone sprinting for the exit? If I tried to take prisoners and one of them fought back, I could have died. And if they delayed the Fourth Prince's retreat? That's a capital offense. Your entire academy would be executed. I didn't have time to interrogate whether they were Rong spies. But they were attacking Zhao warriors. Killing them on the spot was completely justified. Gu Weizhou was speechless and scared. The accusations I'd made were enormous. Lu Chengchen stepped in smoothly. We have witness testimony and physical evidence, Brother Gu. The Iron Garment Division will investigate fully. I suggest you start thinking about compensation now. Gu Weizhou wanted to argue more, but the Fourth Prince's expression was getting darker by the second. He shut up. Then Yang Hong from 9 Immortals, Dao Palace spoke up. Fourth Prince, about our sect's predecessor who was frozen in the cave. Qi Qingyao's face shifted uncomfortably. The Fourth Prince paused. That matter is complicated. We'll discuss it after leaving the Tianyuan River. What I can confirm is that the predecessor did not leave the Water-Chilling Cave. He looked at me with a faint smile. I must say, that kick of yours was quite spectacular. Yang Hong looked confused, glancing between me, the Fourth Prince, and Qi Qingyao. She shook her head with a bitter expression. Why are you shaking your head? Yang Hong demanded. I need details. This concerns our sect's predecessor. Qi Qingyao clearly didn't want to say it publicly. Admitting that 9 Immortals Dao Palace's 2nd-rank human immortal was a Rong spy, the sect would be a laughingstock for 30 years. Li Ruhai from Divine's sect jumped in. Fourth Prince, the real purpose of this expedition was rescuing that 2nd-rank immortal who'd been trapped for 240 years. If something went wrong, we need a full explanation. We have to report to our superiors. The crowd that hadn't been in Ice Mist Mountain gasped collectively. A 2nd-rank human immortal survived being frozen for 240 years. Is that even human anymore? Zhang Shindao and the others were stunned. Even the native warriors had never imagined someone could survive that long in the Water-Chilling Cave. Monk Jiehai pressed his palms together. Ba. Fourth Prince, Please explain everything here and now. Pei ran from the Extreme Flame Sword Palace, added firmly. The four sects cooperated with Zhao on this mission under certain agreements. We have the right to know what happened. The fourth prince considered for a moment, then spoke. The Rong tribe sent countless Heavenly Wolf Guard elites into the Water Qilin Cave for one purpose. That second-rank human immortal. Based on their actions, we can confirm the immortal was of Rong origin. They came within one step of extracting him. If they'd succeeded, Zhao would face an enemy with one more second-rank powerhouse. Dead silence. Yang Hong erupted. Impossible. Our 9 immortals Dao Palace's immortal cannot be a Rong spy. Why not? A voice said from above. Everyone jumped and looked up. A figure sat cross-legged on top of a massive golden eagle, circling silently overhead. Nobody had even noticed them until this person spoke. The Iron Garment Division uncovered his true identity long ago. The stranger continued. Unfortunately, the Heavenly Wolf Guard learned we'd discovered the truth. That's precisely why they sent such a massive force. They knew they couldn't sit back and wait for us to retrieve him anymore. I stared up at the newcomer, startled, and immediately opened their attribute panel. I checked the newcomer's stats immediately. Zhao Sun, 5th rank warrior strength, 166/agility, 187/spirit, 60 Iron Garment Division, a 5th rank Iron Guard, riding a golden eagle like some kind of fantasy airline. Su Wuji smiled. Ah, Lord Zhao Sun, Li Ruhai, and all the 6th rank leaders immediately bowed. Even they showed respect. Li Shou and my friends were gawking at the golden eagle. You can have flying pets in this world. Uncle, the 4th prince greeted him with a smile. So this guy was royalty too, a branch member of the imperial family. Zhao Sun hopped off the eagle and landed on the ship like it was nothing. The eagle kept circling above. He tossed a case file to Yang Hong. Read it yourself. Yang Hong opened it, scanned a few pages, and his face went terrible. He snapped it shut before anyone else could peek. Can I take this back to 9 immortals? Take it. They already have a copy anyway, Zhao Sun said casually. Yang Hong went silent. The 9 immortals' disciples sighed collectively. Case closed. Their ancestor was officially confirmed as a Rong spy. Uncle, you're saying the Iron Garment Division knew about this all along? The 4th prince asked. Of course. We kept it secret so the Heavenly Wolf Guard wouldn't find out. The plan was simple. Let you dig up the immortal, then I'd personally escort him to the capital. Since he was officially 9 immortals, but secretly Rong, the Heavenly Wolf Guard should have had no reason to interfere. Easy mission, but somehow they found out. And their commander went all in, burning hundreds of agents rather than let us take the body. Monk Jiehai's eyes narrowed. You hid this from the 4 sects too. Your elders at the top all knew and agreed, Zhao Sun said with a thin smile. Jiehai shut up immediately. But even I was kept in the dark. The 4th prince sighed. Your father approved. What's the problem? The prince had nothing more to say. Now everything clicked in my head. The Iron Garment Division had been planning to trick the Heavenly Wolf Guard, pretend to rescue the immortal while actually capturing a confirmed spy. But the intelligence leaked, forcing the Heavenly Wolf Guard into a desperate grab. Neither side fully won. It was essentially a draw. Though maybe we came out slightly ahead, Zhao Sun added. Then he scanned the Iron Guard constables and pointed at a quiet, unremarkable 7th rank named Zhang Hu. Tiger. Report. Li Huai and the others looked stunned. This nobody who'd barely spoken the entire trip was Zhao Sun's plant? Zhang Hu stepped forward and delivered a detailed, emotionless briefing covering everything that happened inside. The 4 dead copper rank agents, the corrupted Iron Guard who'd been bribed, the divine immortal cult's explosives, all of it. He'd been watching and memorizing the whole time. And finally, Constable Yang arrived at the retreat point first and neutralized the 3 Azura frogs. Copper 1 died from their backlash. Copper 13 attempted to escape through the pool carrying the frozen immortal, but Constable Yang kicked the ice sculpture away. When I evacuated, the Water Qilin was already awakening and the passage was freezing shut. The Rong tribe cannot recover the immortal. The entire ship went quiet. Then everyone turned to look at me. Li Shou mumbled, Good Lord. Big Brother Yang kicked a 2nd rank human immortal, a 7th rank kicking a 2nd rank. Has that ever happened in history? That's got to be a record. Leaderboard number 1 really is something else. The soy sauce players who hadn't entered the cave were staring at me with a cocktail of admiration, awe, and jealousy. Qin Emo stood quietly in the crowd thinking, yeah, glad I didn't go in there. Then Zhao Sun looked directly at me. Constable Yang Ling, from Changhe Prefecture, Qingshan City. Present, sir. I bowed immediately. His expression was warm. Sure, Xian recommended you for the Iron Garment Division, correct? Sure, Xian used to serve under me. Even back then I noticed his drive despite his age. Zhang Hu was his recommendation too. And now you. That old man has earned himself some serious merit. My heart leaped. Sure, Xian, my boss back in Qingshan City. His backer was a 5th-rank Imperial family member? He specifically wrote to me asking for your spot on this mission. Zhao Sun smiled. You didn't disappoint. Thank you for your support, Lord Zhao. I bowed as deep as I possibly could. Director Shi, you beautiful old man. Your hidden connections go all the way to the top. That kid Yang Ling caught Zhao Sun's eye. I could practically hear Lu Chengxian thinking it. The other officers from Yunwen province were all exchanging meaningful looks. Li Huai and the other Iron Guards. Pure jealousy. What Zhao Sun said was basically the official version of, you're my guy now. In government circles, that was huge. Time to make the most of this moment. Lord Zhao, the Rong spies had members of a cult called the Divine Immortal Cult with them. I said, they can manufacture something called explosives. The destructive power is massive. If we let them grow, the consequences will be catastrophic. Zhang Shundao and the others gasped. They recognized the name from the real world, a cult that had been spreading recently. And now it was here, in the divine realm. Already cooperating with the Heavenly Wolf Guard? Li Shou was muttering to himself. They definitely have someone with an engineering background. Why did I study Buddhism instead of chemistry? The 4th prince nodded gravely. Constable Yang's concern is valid. The explosives they brought nearly cost us dearly inside the cave. The destructive power rivals a 4th-rank Grandmaster's techniques. Rivals a Grandmaster. That evaluation made every 6th-rank fighter in the room suck in a sharp breath. If such weapons become widely available, they could shift the balance of power between nations, the 4th prince added. One Iron Guard spoke up quietly. My jurisdiction already has signs of divine immortal cult activity. Zhao Sun nodded. The Iron Garment Division has been gathering intelligence. The cult leader is of Rong origin, headquartered in Rong territory, but they're actively recruiting in Zhao as well. After this mission, headquarters will likely issue orders. Prepare for a full purge. Everyone stiffened. A nationwide crackdown on the divine immortal cult would shake the entire martial world. I felt relieved. This cult could give players a class, cultist, and they manufactured explosives. Letting them grow was not an option. By the way, Zhao Sun said, shifting tone completely, did nobody get a water boatie? Your halls look modest. Several warriors blushed. Their bags were pretty sad. Mine, on the other hand, was bulging nicely. And that was just what people could see. The stuff they couldn't see. The water boatie already digested in my stomach. 33 attribute points spent. Spirit power at 160. Saying it out loud would give people heart attacks. We saw a water boatie, the 4th prince explained, but it vanished right before I could grab it. Probably an illusion. Bait from the underwater creature. Zhao Sun stroked his chin. Sounds like a decoy. Guess nobody got one this time. Don't be discouraged, he added. Holy medicines aren't supposed to be easy. The rare herbs you collected are already a solid haul. The 4th prince pointed at the 3 confiscated bags on the ground and explained the Stargazing Academy situation. Gu Weizhou stood there looking miserable, not daring to say a word with Zhao Sun present. Zhao Sun glanced at him dismissively, then said, extraordinary situations call for extraordinary measures. They ambushed Constable Yang and failed. The spoils are his. He smiled at me. Keep them. Sell them to the Medicine Guild. Use them yourself. Your call. Every warrior on the ship gasped. 3 bags packed with rare herbs, just handed to me like pocket change. I didn't hesitate. Picked up all 3 bags and strapped them to my waist. Thank you very much. Then, the river erupted. Massive waves exploded from the surface maybe 10 miles away. Zhao Sun's expression shifted. Su Wuji turned with eagle-sharp eyes. The water Qilin has emerged from its cave. Everyone went dead silent. Even the 6th-rank leaders held their breath. I was genuinely curious. What did the legendary water Qilin look like? The waves grew more violent. Some crested over Tianzhong high. Our ships rocked wildly. The turbulence raced away at incredible speed. But nobody saw anything. The Qilin stayed underwater the entire time. Its presence felt only through the apocalyptic waves it left behind. The Qilin is right beneath those waves. But it won't even surface. I watched the disturbance shrink into the distance and disappear. 80 years until anyone could enter that cave again. I'd probably never see the water Qilin's true form. The river took a full quarter-hour to calm down. Everyone, from Zhao Sun to the fourth prince to Su Wuji, had the same look in their eyes. Raw, primal, AWE. The Qilin never showed itself, but its sheer presence had everyone's hearts hammering. Then the giant eagle returned with another bamboo tube. Su Wuji read it and frowned. Fourth prince, the Rong spies broke through our blockade. We only killed about a dozen. They had 5th and 6th rank fighters providing cover. We suffered significant casualties on our side as well. Everyone's respect for the Heavenly Wolf Guard went up another notch. Operating this deep in Zhao territory, pulling off an operation this massive, and escaping nearly intact, even first-rate sects couldn't manage that kind of coordination. As long as we got some alive, the fourth prince said. The Heavenly Wolf Guard's losses were still severe overall. He turned to Chao Juanxiong from the Canal Gang. Elder Chao, get us moving. Back to Yunwen province. The ships began turning. I waited for things to settle, then found Chao Juanxiong privately. He smiled knowingly. Constable Yang, let's talk somewhere quiet. The 7-inch sword trade. 150 cultivation pills. My next massive power-up was about to begin. Walking out of Chao Juanxiong's cabin, the river breeze hit my face, and I felt amazing. The 7-inch sword trade was done. I now had 171 cultivation pills and 22 spirit pills. First thing when I get back to Yunwen province. Push the Heavenly Will scripture to masterful level. Life was good. Constable Yang. There you are. 2 Deadman Valley disciples approached me, both 7th rank, around 30 years old. I'd seen them briefly inside the Water Qilin cave before they disappeared into the frozen wasteland. Deadman Valley people coming to find me. Interesting. Constable Yang, you know we specialize in alchemy, one of them said, getting straight to business. The rare herbs from inside the Water Qilin cave are significantly higher quality than identical species found outside, even at the same age. Better quality means better pills and higher success rates. Our elder would like to know if you'd be willing to sell. I glanced around the ship. The herb marketplace had already started. Every warrior who'd brought back plants was being approached by buyers. Trades happening on every deck, on every ship. Even Li Shou, the man who brought one sad little plant, was happily pocketing a stack of silver notes from a buyer. Good for him. The herbs vary in type and age, I said carefully. Does Deadman Valley have a pricing standard? Also, I have 4 bags, but one is already promised to the Medicine Guild back in Chang'e Prefecture. I'm only selling 3. I pointed at the 3 bags I'd confiscated from the Stargazing Academy corpses. Their eyes lit up. 3 bags was a massive haul. Cultivation pills and spirit pills can both serve as payment, one offered. Or silver, if you prefer. Why not come meet our Elder Qin directly? He can appraise everything on the spot. Even if you don't sell to us, at least you'll know the real value and won't get cheated elsewhere. Smart pitch. I agreed and followed them to the 3rd deck. The Canal Gang had given Deadman Valley a gorgeous, classically decorated cabin, big enough to serve as a reception hall. Inside, over a dozen 7th rank warriors were already lined up waiting for appraisals. Several Iron Guard constables too, including my old friend Li Huai. He was a Deadman Valley disciple originally, and he'd clearly brought some of his constable buddies along to sell their herbs. Zhang Hu, Zhao Sun's secret agent, stood up and saluted me immediately. Constable Yang, Brother Zhang, we're colleagues. No need for formality, I smiled. Then I greeted the other Iron Guards. Li Huai looked deeply unhappy, pretending he hadn't seen me. Finally, when he couldn't avoid it any longer, he reluctantly stood up. Yang, I walked right past him without looking and greeted Mian Zhengdong's group instead. Senior Mian. Everyone's here. Li Huai's face went stiff. His cheeks turned red like I'd slapped him again. The other constables pretended nothing happened. Beautiful. Ha ha, Constable Yang. A middle-aged man emerged from the inner room, laughing heartily. Elder Qin, Deadman Valley's team leader, 6th rank, comparable to Li Ruhai. Everyone, let me appraise Constable Yang's herbs first. Please wait a moment, Elder Qin said to the room. Nobody complained. They all knew I was the big client here. They stared at my 4 bulging bags with a mixture of envy and self-pity. Inside the private room, I placed the 3 confiscated bags on the table. Elder Qin got to work immediately, examining each plant with expert hands. 100-year yellow cinnabar flower. Used in alchemy, increases pill yield by at least 10%. 2 qian in weight, 5,000 taels per qian. Total value, 10,000 taels. 10,000 for the first plant? And there were 15 or 16 more in just this one bag. But the excitement cooled quickly. Most of the remaining herbs were valued much lower, the highest at 3,000, some under 1,000. The first bag totaled roughly 30,000 taels. Fair pricing, Constable Yang. Nobody outside will give you more accurate numbers than mine, Elder Qin assured me. Would you like to sell? How many cultivation pills would 30,000 buy? 6. Standard price is 5,000 per pill. He paused, looking awkward. However, we barely have any cultivation pills available. Our production capacity for the next several years is already spoken for. Spirit pills then, I said without hesitation. I had 171 cultivation pills already, enough for over 500 days of meditation. I didn't need more of those. Spirit pills were instant use, and my void treading steps was at 66,000 proficiency. I wanted to push it all the way to 100,000 and break through to the 4th level. Elder Qin pulled out a camphor wood box containing exactly 60 spirit pills. Deal done on the spot. He moved on to the second bag. The second bag had 18 plants. Elder Qin laid them out neatly and started appraising each one with laser focus. I wasn't just standing around watching. I started popping spirit pills like candy. 82 spirit pills on hand. Void treading steps at 66,006 proficiency out of 100,000. I needed 68 pills to break through. Each pill gave me 500 proficiency, and I burned through the technique in fast forward, like cramming weeks of training into seconds. Elder Qin looked up, confused. Constable Yang, you're taking spirit pills now? Shouldn't you be practicing the technique to absorb the effects? I grinned. Just about to. I started flickering around the room at high speed, practicing my footwork while he estimated prices. He shook his head with a nostalgic smile. Young people these days find training boring. But you, Constable Yang, practicing everywhere you go. That's how real skill is built. 68 pills down the hatch. Ding. Congratulations. Void treading steps advanced to mastery. Mastery. 48 agility. A tidal wave of warm energy crashed through my entire body. My bones and tendons loosened, stretched, and snapped back stronger. I quietly exhaled a breath of murky air and felt like a completely new person. Finally, my first technique at the mastery level. I ran the numbers in my head immediately. Diamond King gives 60 agility. Tiger Capture Blade gives 9 agility. Void Treading Steps now gives 48 agility. My base is 73. With Tiger Capture Blade active, 190 agility. Add the Flood Dragon Bone Blades bonus, 200 agility even. With Heavens Will Divine Blade instead? About the same. It gives 8 agility at its current level, just 1 less than Tiger Capture. Lu Chengshun had higher base stats than me, but his techniques weren't as good. Even at full power, his strength probably couldn't break 200. And fighters like Monk Jihai? Roughly Lu Chengshun's level. My combat power is genuinely beyond 7th rank now. My base stats are low, but the technique and equipment bonuses more than compensate. I'm at least mid-6th rank equivalent. Constable Yang, this bag appraises at 40,000 taels. Silver notes or spirit pills? Elder Qin asked. Spirit pills. He handed over 80 more. My spirit pill count shot back up to 94. I checked what to spend them on. Void Treading Steps needed 1 million proficiency for the next level. Not happening anytime soon. Collapsing Mountain Fist? Not worth it. Tiger Capture Blade was 3rd rate, but its proficiency would transfer to Dragon Capture Blade if I could get that upgrade. 12 Golden Legs still needed 90,000 more proficiency. Heavens Will Divine Blade needed special training conditions. I'll wait until I get back to Yunwen Province and see if I can obtain the Dragon Capture Blade technique. That would be the most efficient use of pills. Decision. Hold for now. Elder Qin opened the 3rd bag and pulled out the first plant. He froze. I leaned in immediately and checked it. 500-year frost for million fruit. Consuming grants 10 free attribute points. 10 free points just sitting in a bag. Those Stargazing Academy idiots must not have recognized what it was. If they had, they would have eaten it on the spot instead of hoarding it for sale. Most herbs that could be consumed directly never made it out of the cave. Warriors ate them immediately. Only herbs requiring refinement got carried out. Frost vermilion fruit, Elder Qin gasped. At least 400 years old. Constable Yang, do you know what this does? Improves physical constitution, I said casually. Impressive knowledge. Indeed, it enhances a warrior's body. Even an ordinary person who takes this would gain the strength of a low-level martial artist. Extraordinary, he smiled. This single fruit is worth at least 50,000 taels. I could exchange. I plucked it from his hand. Elder Qin, I'm keeping this one. Swallowed it whole. Elder Qin looked pained for a moment, then laughed sheepishly. Of course. Something this good, you should eat it yourself. Warmth exploded through my body. When it faded, 10 free attribute points. That's basically 10 free levels. I dumped all 10 into strength. After demolishing those Stargazing Academy ambushers, I'd gotten addicted to high raw power. Strength, agility, health, chi blood. I wanted all of them climbing. Being a specialist was fine, but being an all-rounder? Even better. My updated stats. Yang Ling, level 48 strength, 67/agility, 73, 20/spirit, 160 void treading steps, mastery, 0/1, 000, everything else unchanged. But that agility bonus going from 28 to 48? With full buffs, I was hitting 200 agility. That put me solidly in 6th rank territory. This Water Chelan cave trip had turned me from a strong 7th rank fighter into a monster wearing a 7th rank disguise. 73 agility, but 20 of that comes from the Chelan boots. My base strength has already surpassed my base agility. Funny how things worked out. If I hadn't stacked agility early on, I'd never have survived long enough to get all these power-ups. Speed was what let me grab those herbs, dodge those crossbow bolts, and outrun everything trying to kill me. Strength was great, but without agility, I'd be a strong corpse. Elder Qin finished appraising the remaining herbs in the 3rd bag. Mostly stuff that needed processing, nothing spectacular. 20,000 taels total. This time I took silver notes. A man needs cash in his pocket. Can't walk around with nothing but pills and dried plants. Constable Yang, you still have that 4th bag. Elder Qin eyed my last and fullest bag hungrily. It has more herbs than the other 3 combined. This one's spoken for, I said firmly. I met a man named Dai Huijin from the Medicine Guild back in Chang'e Prefecture. He got me 10 cultivation pills, and I promised him first pick on any herbs I brought back. He died at the hands of Rong spies, but I won't let his name become a joke in the guild. This bag goes to his people. Elder Qin paused, then smiled with something like respect. Nephew Dai was a good man. If he'd stayed with our sect instead of joining the Medicine Guild, he might have reached 6th rank someday. I learned something interesting. The Medicine Guild wasn't just a Dead Man Valley front operation. Multiple alchemy-focused sects had disciples inside it, plus independent herb merchants. It was basically a state-backed enterprise with the surname Zhao at the top. Same as the mining guild being backed by Luohan Temple. Everything in this country came down to who had the biggest backer. Elder Qin walked me out. The line of warriors waiting to sell their herbs had grown even longer. They saw my 3 bags were gone and could only stare with envy. Big Brother Yang, Officer Lu is looking for you. Come quick. Sounds like great news. Qin Imo rushed up with a few iron guards in tow, practically bouncing. I followed them to Lu Qingshan's cabin. Inside, Lu Qingshan, Yun Ruo, sitting down because of her ankle, and several Yunwen province officers. Lu Qingshan waved me in with a big smile. Sit down, Constable Yang. I'll stand, Officer Lu. He grabbed me and shoved me into a chair. When I say SIT, USIT. After what you did in the Water Chelan cave, you've earned a seat. The other officers chimed in warmly. The younger Iron Guards standing nearby were visibly jealous. I was still technically 8th rank, didn't even have my 7th rank appointment yet, and these provincial-level officers were treating me like family. I'll get straight to it, Lu Qingshan said. Your promotion to 7th rank Iron Guard is guaranteed. Just waiting on the official paperwork from the capital. Now, Chang'e Prefecture's Iron Guard division has all 8th rank officers except Sun Biao, who has seniority for a 7th rank position. We're transferring Sun Biao to Yunwen Province headquarters, which means there's an opening. Would you like to serve as Director of Security Division 1 in Chang'e Prefecture? Stay in Chang'e Prefecture? Close to Qingshan City? Close to my red gold mine for leveling? Yes. Absolutely yes. But wait, this was a massive jump. From City Constable straight to Prefectural Division Director, skipping the deputy level entirely. That was 2 ranks up, not 1. Hold on. Does this step on Yunruo's toes? I glanced at her. She smiled calmly. Working as Division 1 Director in Chang'e Prefecture would be good experience for you. I'll be around to help. Ask me anything you need. Translation. She wasn't mad, and she'd basically do the actual work while I focused on getting stronger. Dream setup. Of course, if you'd rather come to Yunwen Province directly, Lu Chengqian added, you could serve as a constable under me. But there are no director openings here right now. Provincial Constable versus Prefectural Director? No contest. Director meant I ran my own operation, in familiar territory, near my grinding spots. One last question, though. Officer Lu, Sun Biao being transferred to the province. That's a promotion for him, right? Had to make sure I wasn't throwing the old man under the bus. The reason I cared about Sun Biao's situation was simple. First, the man was decent. Second, I wasn't about to make an enemy out of a veteran with decades of connections just for one promotion. I had plenty of strength and resources now. All I needed was to avoid making stupid political enemies and keep growing in peace. Lu Chengqian and the other officers exchanged knowing smiles. I could tell they were thinking, this kid asks about his predecessor's welfare while getting promoted? Smart and loyal. Relax, Lu Chengqian laughed. Sun Biao is getting half a grade up by coming to Yunwen Province. He'll likely be placed in the patrol division, less frontline work, perfect for his experience and age. Then he dropped another bomb. Oh, and Security Division 3 in Chang'e Prefecture will also have an opening. You'll manage both for now. Also, Lord Zhao Sun told me that Director Shi Xin will be transferred to another prefecture as their Division 1 director. Half a grade up for him too. He paused, looking at me and Yunruo. The security operations in Chang'e Prefecture are yours and Yunruo's from now on. You two built solid teamwork inside the Water Qilin Cave. I trust you'll run things well. Everything was falling into place perfectly. I thanked him immediately. Officer Lu, can I request a transfer to work under Director Yang? Qin Mo piped up with a grin. Lu Chengqian blinked. You want to leave provincial headquarters for Chang'e Prefecture? Director Yang's methods are extraordinary. I want to learn from him. Lu Chengqian glanced at me. I'm willing to let him go. Up to you. Chang'e Prefecture definitely needs talent like Qin Mo, I said thoughtfully. Done. He goes with you, transfer orders included. Thank you. Officer Lu. Qin Mo and I said together. The ships docked at port. Warriors poured off the boats, and the place came alive. Vendors were already hawking hot buns and pancakes. After days of frozen rations inside the cave, people were buying hot food like their lives depended on it. I stood with the Iron Guards behind the fourth prince, who was quietly discussing Heavenly Wolf Guard matters with Zhao Sun. The 4 sects started making their departures. Li Ruhai from Divine Sect bowed. We'll conduct an internal investigation regarding Copper 10 and report our findings to the Iron Garment Division. The spy in your sect isn't limited to Copper 10 alone, Zhao Sun said flatly. Focus on anyone close to him. Li Ruhai didn't argue. Zhang Shindao waved goodbye to me as they left. Monk Jiehai brought up the imprisoned warrior from Bitter Awakening Temple again. Zhao Sun shut him down. The Iron Garment Division handles things our way. Mind your own business. Jiehai smiled and left without pushing further. Li Shou waved at me. I'll try that mining for leveling strategy you mentioned. Big brother Yang. Yang Hong from 9 Immortals looked terrible. Forced smile, hollow eyes. Finding out your sect's legendary ancestor was a wrong traitor? That'll ruin your week. Lin Sai came over to me quietly. Big brother Yang. Who knows when we'll see each other again? Any instructions? Yun Ruo's eyebrow twitched. She side-eyed Lin Sai with a look I pretended not to notice. Keep an eye on the Divine Immortal Cult and the Heavenly God Cult, I told her. Report anything to the Iron Garment Division. Yun Ruo relaxed. Official business. Nothing more. Then Pei Ran from Extreme Flame Sword Palace approached with a smile. Constable Yang, you won our sex prize during the tournament. A spot to visit the Extreme Flame Cavern and Outer Disciple status. Come visit whenever you're free. I'll personally handle the ceremony. Zhang Tian AI was practically vibrating with excitement behind him. She was already scheming about monopolizing my time for power leveling once I joined. Zhao Sun overheard and raised an eyebrow. What prizes? The fourth prince happily recounted my tournament sweep. The soul restoration pill, defective diamond bodhi, cultivation pills, spirit pills, the 7-inch sword, the extreme flame cavern spot, and outer disciple status. Zhao Sun couldn't help laughing. You didn't get a water bodhi, but the tournament rewards alone made this trip worthwhile. Absolutely, Lord Zhao. I'm very satisfied, I bowed. Then he added casually, you should visit Extreme Flame Sword Palace when you have time. Even as an outer disciple. I imagine they won't be stingy with you. That was code. With Zhao Sun's implied backing, Extreme Flame would have to show extra generosity. Maybe a solid inner cultivation technique, maybe some quality martial arts. More techniques meant more potential attribute bonuses, no downside to collecting them. Then Lu Chengxian spotted Gu Weizhou from Stargazing Academy, trying to sneak away with his remaining disciples. Gu Weizhou, Lu Chengxian barked. Your Stargazing Academy's situation is not resolved. You're not going anywhere. Yunwen Province. Iron Garment Division Headquarters. Official court session. Lu Chengxian sat at the main desk. Zhao Sun and the fourth prince sat to the side as observers. Behind them stood Su Wuji, myself, Yin Ruo, and others. All 6 division directors from Yunwen Province were also present. Below the platform, Gu Weizhou and dozens of Stargazing Academy disciples. Out of the 10 who entered the Water Qilin Cave, only 1 survived. The other 9? All died by my hands. Gu Weizhou, Lu Chengxian said evenly. We have witness testimony and physical evidence. The perpetrators are dead, but Stargazing Academy must compensate Sect Master He Yang for his losses. He Yang sat in a wheelchair surrounded by furious Heavenly Star Sect disciples. If their master had died in that cave, the entire sect would have collapsed. Gu Weizhou took a deep breath and forced a smile in my direction. Constable Yang, what impressive methods you have. 9 7th-ranked disciples. All dead. Not a single survivor for questioning. Lu Chengxian frowned. Constable Yang performed his duty. If you refuse compensation, we escalate this to the capital, then escalate it. Gu Weizhou shot back, suddenly full of confidence. I don't acknowledge my disciples did anything wrong. This requires proper investigation. He paused, then dropped his trump card. The third prince studied under our academy master for several years. He knows our principles and our students' character. He glanced at Zhao Sun and the fourth prince, bowed, and turned to leave. The room went tense. The fourth prince frowned. Lu Chengxian went quiet. Gu Weizhou was using the third prince as a political shield. Gu Weizhou, stay. Su Wuji spoke suddenly. Gu Weizhou stopped. His eyes flickered with wariness. This eunuch from the Imperial Ceremonial Office was rumored to be 5th rank. Eunuch Su, this is a courtroom. Officer Lu can question me. But you, Gu Weizhou glanced downward with thinly veiled mockery. Don't exactly have the authority. Nobody missed the insult. Only someone backed by a second-rate sect would dare mock a palace eunuch to his face. Su Wuji didn't get angry. He just clapped his hands lightly. Several junior eunuchs escorted a terrified middle-aged man into the hall. Gu Weizhou's face went white the instant he saw him. Officer Lu, this is Blacksmith Wang from the provincial capital. He recently sold several custom-made tripping ropes to Gu Weizhou personally. Su Wuji smiled. My attendants happened to learn about this while taking a stroll. Right. The Iron Garment Division officers exchanged uneasy glances. These, strolling, eunuchs had found a specific blacksmith in an unfamiliar city within hours. The Imperial Ceremonial Office's intelligence network was terrifying. Blacksmith Wang, who bought the ropes? Lu Chengxian asked. The blacksmith was shaking like a leaf. He spilled everything. The ropes went directly to Gu Weizhou. He Yang erupted. Gu Weizhou, I thought you were just protecting your students. You ordered them to do it? You old bastard. Gu Weizhou kept a straight face. Fabricated accusations. I'll have the academy master clear my name. He turned to leave. Arrest him. Prison, the fourth prince said. What happened next was barely visible. One blink and Su Wuji was behind Gu Weizhou. No techniques. No movement arts. Just raw, overwhelming base stats making him appear like a ghost. Eunuch Su, don't. I'll cooperate. Whatever you say. Gu Weizhou's bravado evaporated instantly. A 6th-rank warrior surrendering without throwing a single punch. I was honestly disappointed. I wanted to see what Su Wuji's stats looked like with full technique buffs. Would have given me a preview of 5th-rank standards. Gu Weizhou was clamped in irons. His disciples were ordered to remain in Yunnan province. Case suspended but effectively settled. He Yang was satisfied. Getting a 6th-rank master imprisoned over your case was enormous face. He struggled to stand from his wheelchair despite his broken legs. Master, what are you doing? I need to bow to Constable Yang. Without him, these old bones would have rotted in the cave. He forced himself upright, grimacing through the pain, and bowed deeply. Every Heavenly Star sect disciple followed. Sect Master this is simply our duty at the Iron Garment Division, I said. Lu Chengchun and the other officers smiled approvingly. The 4th prince watched Gu Weizhou being dragged away and looked quite pleased with the outcome. After court was dismissed, I went straight to my temporary quarters to take stock. 171 cultivation pills, 94 spirit pills, 5 gene of Qilin iron, 20,000 taels in silver. Used up all the armor-piercing throwing knives, but I can commission new ones. I packed everything carefully. The cultivation pills required total stillness during absorption, 3 days per pill. I needed to be back in my own territory, deep inside a mine, before starting that process. A knock at my door. Constable Yang. Yin Ruo's voice. I opened the door to find her standing in the courtyard, looking sharp as always despite the ankle injury. What's up, Officer Yin? Would you like to test your current martial rank? My eyes lit up. Officer Lu wants to serve as your sparring target, she continued. He suspects your cultivation has already reached lower 6th rank. If you pass the test, you'll be the youngest 6th-rank fighter in all of Yunnan province. She paused, then added the words that made my heart pound. And you can claim the Iron Armor Scripture and Dragon Capture Blade technique early. The Security Division training hall was packed. Every constable from every division in Yunnan province had shown up to watch. Is this a martial arts test or a sporting event? I thought, looking at the crowd. Zhao Sun, the 4th prince, Su Wuji, Zhang Hu, Li Huai. Everyone who was anyone was here. Lu Chengxin stood in the center of the arena, smiling at me like a man about to enjoy himself. Wait, Yang Ling is only upper 7th rank. Did he break through already? A 6th rank exam? We haven't had one of those in years. The whispers were everywhere. The provincial officers were all 7th rank themselves, and here I was, younger than most of their students, about to test for the rank above them. Officer Yin, there are a lot of people here, I muttered. It's been years since anyone took this exam, Yun Ruo said calmly. The directors want their constables to see what it looks like. Relax. Show your real strength. Lu Chengchun laid out the rules. I'll fight at full power. Survive 100 moves without your chi blood running out or stepping outside the arena. That's it. Only 100 moves? Seemed manageable. Officer Lu, what's your rank? I asked. Lower 6th. Then if I only survive 100 moves against a lower 6th, how does that make me lower 6th? He laughed. Apparently, everyone asks this. Martial rank is hard to measure precisely. The tiers exist for convenience. If you can last 100 moves against me without your chi blood emptying, it means upper 7th rank warriors pose zero threat to you. You're beyond that level. We call it newly advanced lower 6th. Give yourself half a year to polish your skills, and the newly advanced part drops off. Made sense. Nobody here actually believed I was a real 6th rank fighter. They just acknowledged I'd surpassed 7th rank. The exam's threshold was deliberately low to give people room to grow. The 4th prince added the real incentive. Pass this exam today with Lord Zhao and me as witnesses, and we skip all the bureaucratic paperwork. Lord Zhao happens to have the Iron Armor Scripture and the Dragon Capture Blade technique with him. Pass, and you get them today. Iron Armor Scripture. Second-rate inner cultivation. Every constable in the audience nearly combusted with desire. That technique was the holy grail of Iron Guard cultivation. Every high-ranking officer practiced it. Let's begin, Lu Chengxin said, activating his inner techniques. I watched his stats through my perception and my jaw almost hit the floor. First, his Green Flood Dragon technique activated. Both strength and agility jumped by 60 points each. Strength went from 106 to 166. Agility from 73 to 133. Okay, that's comparable to Qi Qingyao and the other sect champions. Not bad, but Then both stats jumped by another 40. Strength, 206. Agility, 173. Wait. What? He was running two inner cultivation techniques simultaneously. The Green Flood Dragon and the Iron Armor Scripture, both providing attribute boosts at the same time. When Yun Ruo fought, she could only use one technique's bonus at a time, but Lu Chengchun was stacking both. I focused my perception on his body and saw it. His chi blood was circulating along a special dual pathway, and it was burning through his reserves at a terrifying rate. Even standing still, his chi blood was draining fast. This is the difference between 6th and 7th rank. Running two techniques at once, paying for it with massive chi blood consumption. No wonder chi blood mattered so much at higher ranks. No wonder my 1,500 chi blood was going to be crucial. Then Lu Chengchun moved. His movement technique activated. Green Flood Dragon steps at mastery level. 20 to both stats. Then his weapon technique. Dragon Capture Blade with Blade Intent. 15 to both stats. A ghostly dragon appeared behind his back. Final stats. Strength, 241. Agility, 208. This is what lower 6th rank actually looks like. I cursed internally. This was a completely different league from anything I'd faced. No more theory. Time to see if my numbers held up. I activated Diamond King immediately. My aura exploded the moment I activated Diamond King. Both stats jumped by 60. I didn't retreat. I charged straight at Lu Chengchun. Void Treading Steps, 48 agility. Left hand holding the red gold pickaxe, 20 strength. Right hand holding the Flood Dragon Bone Blade, 10 strength, 10 agility. Tiger Capture Blade Technique, 9 strength, 9 agility. Final stats, strength 166. Agility 200. In agility, I was only 8 points behind him, but in strength, I was down by 75. A massive gap. My strength is way lower, but my chi blood is thick and my health pool is deep. This is a rare chance. I need to see exactly how big the gap between me and a real 6th rank fighter is. That's why I went head-on instead of dodging. Every warrior in the audience was stunned. Even Zhao Sun and the 4th prince looked surprised. Lu Chengchun's aura was like an ancient beast's, and I was running toward it? Li Huai and the other 7th ranks finally understood the truth. The gap between us and 6th rank is an abyss. They'd thought they were close. They were wrong. I collided with Lu Chengchun. My Tiger Capture Blade formed a Tiger Phantom. His Dragon Capture Blade formed a Dragon Phantom. Clang, clang, clang. 3 to 5 exchanges in an instant. My entire arm went numb. Every pore on my body burst open with traces of blood. My organs felt like they'd been through an earthquake. The urge to vomit hit me like a truck. His power is terrifying. I immediately used Void Treading Steps to disengage. In just those few exchanges, the chi blood coating my blade had been nearly shredded. From 1,500 down to barely 1,400. Health dropped by several dozen points too. That's a normal person's entire health bar, gone in seconds. If I kept trading blows like this, even 1,500 chi blood wouldn't last 100 moves. Thank God for chi blood protection. Without it, my Flood Dragon Bone Blade would have been chopped into scrap metal. Lu Chengchun looked surprised too. This kid took several full power hits and was still moving? He got more excited and pressed harder, using his Green Flood Dragon movement technique to close the distance. But my agility was only 8 points below his, and I was focused entirely on dodging. I became a slippery eel. Every blade strike whistled past me by the thinnest of margins. He attacked relentlessly. I dodged relentlessly. Occasionally, when I absolutely couldn't avoid a strike, I'd block, then immediately disengage before the impact could stack. The training ground fell dead silent. Every Iron Guard was staring with wide eyes, completely frozen. No mockery, just pure shock and admiration. Yun Ruo's eyes widened. His speed matches my uncle's? And his strength. I couldn't take even one of those strikes, but he took several. If he ever decided to fight me at this level, I'd die instantly, Li Huai thought, scalp tingling. Every 7th rank talent who'd been in the Water Chilling Cave was thinking the same thing. The gap between them and me had grown into something frightening. The 4th prince watched closely. His ability seems considerably above mine. Zhao Sun nodded. He's faster than you, probably stronger, and has deeper chi blood reserves. His techniques aren't higher quality than yours. His fundamentals are just that solid. He paused, then smiled. Don't be discouraged. Your talent isn't below his. You're just bottlenecked by the Imperial Extreme technique. Once you break through to mastery, you'll surpass him eventually. The fourth prince nodded but sighed internally. Breaking through? Easier said than done. 30-plus moves in. The provincial directors exchanged amazed looks. A genius from some backwater like Chang'e Prefecture. Next time we see him, we'll probably be calling him Director Yang. Qin Mo was squinting at the arena, trying to follow the action. Impossible. Both fighters were moving so fast that watching for more than a few seconds made him dizzy. Is Big Brother Yang really a player? He's not secretly a native pretending to be one, right? I didn't know what everyone was thinking. All my focus was on dodging. Without 160 spirit and superhuman perception, I couldn't have managed this for even 10 moves. I was reading Lu Qingqian's attacks a fraction of a second before they arrived, adjusting by millimeters each time. Every dodge was a hair's width from death. Walking a tightrope at 1,000 miles per hour. I really wish I could just hide somewhere and throw knives at him. That thought lasted half a second. Then Lu Qingqian stopped. He frowned at me. Kid, how long are you planning to keep running? He was getting annoyed. Officer Lu, didn't you say I could dodge freely? He opened his mouth, then closed it. I did say that, but, sir, if I take one of your full power blade strikes, I'm dead. I haven't gotten married yet. I haven't had kids. I'd like to keep my body in one piece. He thought for a second, then, fine. No more blades. Hand to hand from here on. My eyes lit up. Deal. Lu Qingqian put away his blade. I put away mine. But I kept the red gold pickaxe in my left hand. That thing gave me 20 strength. You'd have to PRY it from my cold, dead fingers. Lu Qingqian didn't care. He came at me again, pure fists and feet this time. No technique, just raw stats. Without the dragon capture blade, he lost 15 points from both stats. Might not sound like much, but for me, the threat level dropped significantly. No more worrying about getting an arm chopped off. Time to fight. I switched to 12 golden legs, 18 strength, and activated diamond indestructible body. My chi blood coated every inch of me like armor. We clashed. Hard. Over and over. And you know what? It felt good. His punches and kicks couldn't really hurt me anymore. My kicks couldn't really hurt him either, but the point was, I was surviving. Trading blows with a genuine lower 6th rank fighter, and my health bar wasn't moving. Every hit got absorbed by chi blood and diamond body. 15 exchanges. Chi blood dropped about 200 points. Health, 0 change. Diamond indestructible body was holding the line perfectly. Good thing my chi blood is this deep. Otherwise I couldn't sustain this kind of combat. Every now and then Lu Qingqian would land a clean punch and send me flying several meters. My organs would do somersaults. But the actual damage? Just a chunk of chi blood. Nothing critical. Against a lower 6th and hand-to-hand, I can hold my ground. And in a real fight, I wouldn't be locked in an arena. I could run, create distance, throw knives. I kept pressing forward, exchanging blow after blow. Meanwhile, I watched his chi blood. Still draining fast from running 2 techniques simultaneously, but far from empty. His reserves had to be above 1,500, probably way above. Years of training, probably 8 rare medicines too. And the iron armor scripture likely boosted chi blood on its own. He's a little stronger than me. Fair enough. Before I knew it, we'd passed 100 moves. Lu Qingqian was so into the fight, he completely forgot to stop. He was actually getting more fired up with each exchange. Yun Ruo looked anxious, nearly shouting a reminder. Ahem, the fourth prince coughed. Officer Lu, I believe that's past 100. Already? Lu Qingqian looked disappointed but stopped. You still have chi blood left? I raised my hand. A thin layer of chi blood still coated it. Out of 1,500, I had maybe 200 left. Between the combat and maintaining diamond body, I'd burned through almost everything. Chi blood remaining. Survived 100 moves. Stayed inside the arena. Lu Qingqian nodded. By 6th rank examination standards, you've passed perfectly. Congratulations, Constable Yang. From today, you are a newly advanced lower 6th rank. Silence. Then thunderous applause. Qin Mo was clapping so hard his palms turned bright red. The fourth prince and Zhao Sun clapped with satisfied expressions. Yun Ruo exhaled with visible relief and actually smiled, applauding gently. Our Yunwan province hasn't produced a new 6th rank in at least 3 years, one director sighed. 3 years? I thought about what the exam required. Basically, You needed second-rate inner techniques, rock-solid fundamentals, and stats approaching Lu Qingshan's level. No wonder it was rare. Lu Qingshan had his people bring paperwork immediately. He filled out my registration for the official martial rank records, then handed everything to Zhao Sun to process at the capital. Your newly advanced 6th rank certification carries more weight than most, Zhao Sun said with a smile. Officer Lu isn't some pushover examiner. Among all lower 6th rank fighters in Zhao, fewer than 20 can beat him. Everyone's eyes widened. My examiner was top-tier lower 6th? That meant my passing score was worth way more than someone tested by an average 6th rank. I thought about why Lu Qingshan was so strong. 2 second-rate inner techniques running simultaneously. Most lower 6th rank fighters probably only had 1 second-rate and 1 third-rate. Their dual technique attribute boost would be noticeably weaker. The Iron Armor scripture is the key. If I can run it alongside Diamond King. Then Zhao Sun stood up and produced 2 martial arts manuals from inside his robe. His expression became the most serious I'd ever seen on him. Constable Yang, on behalf of the Iron Garment Division, I present you with the second-rate inner technique Iron Armor scripture and the second-rate blade technique Dragon Capture Blade. He paused. These 2 arts were created by our division commander himself. They contain his lifelong martial insights and essence. By accepting them, you commit to upholding the law and serving with honor. Should you ever betray that trust, the Iron Garment Division will hunt you to the ends of the earth. Every Iron Guard in the building went rigid. The commander created these? What kind of monster could craft 2 second-rate techniques from scratch? I stepped forward immediately, hands cupped in the deepest bow I could manage, and accepted both manuals with absolute reverence. Iron Guard Yang Ling hears and obeys the commander's teachings. Outside the city gates, on the main road, Lu Qingshan was giving Yun Ruo a long list of reminders while I stood to the side with Qin Mo, listening quietly. Visit your uncle when you can. Work well with Yang Ling. 1 upper 7th rank and 1 newly advanced 6th rank running Chang'e Prefecture is already a premium setup. If anything goes wrong on your watch, you'll both become targets for criticism. He had a point. Chang'e Prefecture was one of the lower-ranked areas under Yunwen Province. Besides me and Yun Ruo, the strongest officer was Sun Biao level, upper 8th rank. 2 powerhouses like us managing that district was practically overkill. Then I brought up the thing that had been bugging me. Officer Lu, during our fight yesterday, I noticed you were running more than 1 inner technique simultaneously. He smiled. Sharp eyes. Yes, 2 inner techniques at once. But don't get ahead of yourself. First build up your chi blood. Once it's deep enough, you can attempt running 2 techniques simultaneously. That's what makes 6th rank fighters so formidable. Qin Mo's ears practically grew. 2 techniques at once? He was absorbing every word like a sponge. Do they need to be the same grade? I asked. Below 1st rate, no restrictions. 1 second rate plus 1 third rate works fine. As long as your chi blood can sustain it, and you find the right pathway for dual circulation. Then he dropped the critical piece. 1st rate techniques are different. Once you practice a 1st rate technique, you cannot practice any 2nd rate technique. 1st rate treats everything below it as incompatible garbage. My heart sank. I'd already tried learning the Iron Armor scripture yesterday. The system rejected it, said it conflicted with Diamond King. Diamond King was 1st rate. Iron Armor scripture was 2nd rate. Exactly as Lu Qingshan described. What if you learn a 2nd rate first, then get a 1st rate later? That works, Lu Qingshan nodded. But the 2nd rate technique's accumulated power gets absorbed by the 1st rate technique. The 2nd rate disappears completely. Experience inheritance, I thought immediately. The 2nd rate's experience would transfer to the 1st rate at some ratio, then the 2nd rate vanishes. This meant my path to dual techniques required finding another 1st rate inner technique. The Iron Armor scripture was permanently locked out. And my other 1st rate techniques, Divine Ape Visualization and Heavenly Will scripture, were both spirit type. They didn't provide combat stat boosts. One more thing, Lu Qingshan added. The 2 techniques need to follow similar cultivation paths. If your main technique is a hard, aggressive style, the second one should match. Mix incompatible styles and you risk chi deviation, which can cripple you permanently. Some desperate fighters grab whatever 2nd technique they can find without caring about compatibility. Even if they avoid deviation, they damage their foundation and lose any chance of future breakthroughs. Critical information. Qin Mo was practically taking mental notes with a pen that didn't exist. The kid was getting a masterclass just by standing next to me. Last question, I said. Lu Chengxian frowned. You talk too much. Spit it out, I laughed sheepishly. Yesterday's exam. I almost failed, didn't I? He waved his hand. You were going to pass no matter what. The 6th rank slot was already reserved for you. I just got carried away because you fought better than expected and I started actually trying. He paused. But don't be discouraged. Like Lord Zhao said, I'm a top-tier lower 6th. Against an average lower 6th examiner going all out, you'd have passed easily. Then he shooed us away. Get going. I've got a mountain of paperwork waiting, and this divine immortal cult situation needs a thorough investigation. The 3 of us mounted our horses and headed for Chang'e Prefecture. Smooth ride, no trouble. Along the way, I chatted with Yun Ruo and casually asked, the iron armor scripture is second-rate. Nobody's ever tried to sell it on the black market? She gave me the strangest look. That's suicide. Buyer dies. Seller dies. Entire families executed. Who would be that stupid, right? Right? I nodded quickly. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Good to know. The iron armor scripture I couldn't even use was also impossible to sell to natives or players. If word got out, the Iron Garment Division would hunt me down with extreme prejudice. Unless I fled to Rome territory, I'd be a dead man. Some things are just meant to sit in your inventory and collect dust. While I was on the road back, things were already happening at Chang'e Prefecture's Iron Garment Division headquarters. Sun Biao and Director Shi were drinking tea in the courtyard when Zhang Tai, the Patrol Division Director, walked in with 2 other directors and 3 letters from Yunwen Province. 2 letters had official wax seals. One for Sun Biao, one for Shi Xian. They opened them at the same time. I'm going to Yunwen Province, Sun Biao exclaimed. I'm becoming Division 1 Director, Shi Xian shouted. Both of them were thrilled. Sun Biao had been wanting out of the front line for ages, especially after the He Dongfeng incident nearly cost him his position. Going to the Provincial Patrol Division meant safe, comfortable work until retirement. Shi Xian was getting transferred to another prefecture as Division 1 Director. Half a grade up. Clear sign the higher-ups were grooming him for bigger things. What about the 3rd letter? Shi Xian asked. Is it for Officer Yun? Zhang Tai shook his head with a slight smile. It's for Constable Yang. He's getting promoted. Yang Ling? Promoted? Zhang Tai then laid out everything he'd received in his intelligence briefing. The Grand Slam victory against the 4 sects, the massive achievements inside the Water Qilin Cave, killing Copper 9 and Copper 4, indirectly causing Copper 1's death, and passing the 6th rank examination. Newly advanced lower 6th. Sun Biao and Shi Xian sat there with their mouths open. Yang Ling is 6th rank now, Shi Xian muttered. His cultivation speed is insane. When he dealt with He Dongfeng, I already knew he had 7th rank ability. I underestimated him then, Sun Biao said. I figured maybe 10 years to reach 6th. Not. Now, Zhang Tai explained the reasoning. The Grand Slam prizes, the treasures from the cave, all of it accelerated my growth. The promotion to Division 1 Director was partly to let me settle down for a few years and solidify my foundation before moving to higher positions. Yang Ling is taking over Division 1, Shi Xian blurted, then gave Sun Biao an awkward look. Sun Biao laughed bitterly. So I'm making room for him. Oh well, don't blame Yang Ling for this, Shi Xian started. Blame him for what? You think I'm that petty? Sun Biao waved him off. Having a newly advanced 6th rank running security in Chang'e Prefecture? No Rong spy will dare breathe here. That's a good thing. Shi Xian nodded with a smile. He's excellent at hunting spies. With this kind of power behind it, Chang'e Prefecture is going to be the safest district in the province. After I leave, Shi Xian asked, who takes over Division 3? Zhang Tai's expression went flat. Yang Ling. He's running both. Silence. Sun Biao and Shi Xian gasped simultaneously. Division 1 and 3? That was Zhao Sun and Lu Qingqian's joint decision. Lin Yan, Director of Patrol Division 3, was standing in the corner practically vibrating. His hands were shaking with excitement. Yang Ling, the constable who'd once served under him back in Qingshan City, was about to become one of the most powerful officers in the entire prefecture. With that connection, Lin Yan's own career prospects just went through the roof. Then a constable rushed in. Directors, Officer Yun and Constable Yang have arrived. Everyone exchanged looks and hurried out of the courtyard. Zhang Tai called out to Director Huadong. Send word. All Iron Garment Division constables drop what they're doing and assemble in Division 1's courtyard. Now, Changha Prefecture. Iron Garment Division. Division 1 courtyard. The place was packed. Every constable from all three branches, security, crime, and patrol, had been ordered to assemble. Over 1,000 people crammed into a courtyard that wasn't built for this many bodies. Some guys were pressed against the walls, stretching their necks to see what was happening. All the directors were present. And in the center, me, Yun Ruo, and Qin Mo, freshly arrived from Yunwan province. When Xiaoba was standing next to his boss when Kong Xian, whispering, "Something big happening today?" When Kong Xian shook his head. "Just wait." Zhang Tai stepped forward with an official document bearing Yunwan province's wax seal. Several appointments from the provincial office to announce. First, Director Sun Biao is relieved of his position as Division 1 Director, effective immediately. He is to report to Yunwan Province headquarters. The Security Division constables went into an uproar. Some were angry, some confused. Sun Biao's two deputy constables exchanged dark looks. "Director Zhang, what is the meaning of this?" one of them barked. Sun Biao shut him down immediately. "This isn't your place to speak. Director Zhang is doing his job. Listen." The man went quiet. His subordinates lowered their heads. Second, Director Shi Xin is transferred to Xiangfeng Prefecture as their Division 1 Director, effective immediately. Shi Xin's team took it better. This was clearly a promotion. But the Security Division, people were getting nervous. Two directors removed at once? A Crime Division Director spoke up carefully. "If both are leaving, who takes Division 1? His eyes drifted toward Yun Ruo. Zhang Tai cleared his throat. Third appointment. By order of Yunwan Province, Yang Ling is appointed as Division 1 Director of Changha Prefecture's Security Division. Additionally, until a permanent appointment is made, Director Yang will also manage Division 3. Dead. Silence. Every single person stared at me like I'd grown a second head. I'd been a city constable from Qingshan, a small-town nobody. Never served as anyone's deputy. Never held any director-level position. And now I was running two divisions? When Xiaoba's jaw was on the floor. He's my AG, and he's Division 1 Director. Most people were in pure shock. A few deputy constables, especially Sun Biao's two guys, were visibly furious. Their eyes were practically shooting flames at me. Then Sun Biao did something I'll never forget. He looked at his two angry deputies, then turned to me with a warm smile and bowed. "Director Yang, Division 1 is yours now. This old bag of bones is heading to the province to retire in peace." He paused. "Director Yang, my two deputies have served under me for years. Would you mind if I take them with me?" Those two deputies froze. I understood instantly what he was doing. He was removing the two people most likely to cause me problems, taking away the thorns before they could prick me. This old veteran was doing me an enormous favor on his way out. "Thank you, Director Sun," I said with a deep bow, genuinely moved. "Don't thank me. Just keep killing Rome spies and this old face will shine with pride." Then his expression went cold as he turned to face the entire assembly, including his own unhappy deputies. For those who don't know, Director Yang accomplished the following inside the Water Chilin Cave. He destroyed the Heavenly Wolf Guards operation, personally killed Copper 4 and Copper 9, both Copper rank agents, and engineered the death of Copper 1 himself. He earned monumental merit for Zhao and preserved the honor of our Iron Garment Division. Dead silence. Then a wave of sharp inhales rippled through the crowd. He killed 3 Copper rank agents, including Copper 1. This guy is literally a rogue spy's worst nightmare. With achievements like that, yeah, he deserves the position. The Crime Division directors were shaken too. They understood how elite Copper rank agents were, far above someone like He Dongfeng. These were top-tier spies embedded in provincial capitals and the royal cities. Sun Biao's 2 deputies looked deflated, still a little bitter, but the fire in their eyes had dimmed. Then Sun Biao smiled and delivered the final blow. "Oh, one more thing. Director Yang has already passed the 6th rank examination. He is now a newly advanced lower 6th rank warrior. His examiner was Yunwan Province's Division 1 Director, 6th rank Iron Guard Lu Changchen. His witnesses were Lord Zhao Sun, 5th rank Iron Guard from the capital, and the 4th Prince." The courtyard went so quiet you could hear snow falling 3 blocks away. Then, a chorus of gasps so loud it probably scared birds off the rooftops. Every last trace of defiance, every flicker of resentment, every hint of, who does this kid think he is? All of it vanished from every single face, replaced by pure, undiluted awe. A new sixth rank? Chang'e Prefecture has a sixth rank. When was the last time that happened? 13 years ago, the crime division directors were staring at me like I was some kind of mythical creature. And honestly, I understood their shock. The gap between 7th and 6th rank looked like one step. In reality, it was a lifetime's worth of distance that most warriors would never cross. Every deputy, every constable who'd been even slightly annoyed about my appointment, all that resentment evaporated like morning dew. A 6th rank fighter serving as Division 1 director in a place like Chang'e Prefecture was massive overkill. This level of power belonged in provincial capitals, or the royal cities, or the capital itself. The smarter ones figured out what was happening immediately. The higher-ups were grooming me. Chang'e Prefecture was a stepping stone. Build experience, build seniority, then move up to the province, then the capital. And that realization made their eyes go hot with ambition. Get close to me now, and their own careers would ride the wave up. Gentlemen, your seals please, Zhang Tai said with a smile. Sun Biao and Shi Xian handed over their official director's seals. I accepted them both. Just like that, I was officially director of Security Division 1 and 3, Chang'e Prefecture Iron Garment Division. The crime division directors bowed their congratulations first. Then the entire assembly, every constable, every officer, bowed together. Director Yang, Lin Yin was bowing too, grinning so wide his face might split. The man was practically glowing. In his mind, he was the genius who discovered me back in Qingshan City. Without me, Director Yang wouldn't be where he is today. My career is about to take OFF. He actually laughed out loud. Subtle as always, Lin Yin. After the crowd dispersed, I kept the key people behind. The 3 crime division directors, Sun Biao, Shi Xian, Zhang Tai's patrol team, and Yun Ruo. What do you need, Director Yang? When Kang Xian asked, eyes drifting to the bulging herb bag at my waist. I got straight to business. Inside the Water Qilin Cave, we encountered a cult called the Divine Immortal Cult. They're connected to the Heavenly Wolf Guard and possess a weapon called explosives, powerful enough to collapse mountain tunnels. If they're allowed to grow, they'll become a serious threat. Every director's expression went stone serious. Is this cult based in Zhao? The Crime Division 1 director asked. The cult leader operates from Rome territory, but they have followers spreading across Zhao. I stood straight and laid out my plan. As the new Division 1 director, my first priority remains hunting rogue spies. But this year, I'm launching a special operation. Target, the Divine Immortal Cult. I need all divisions cooperating. Pass the word down to every constable. This is our main mission for the year. The 3 crime directors accepted without hesitation. Officer Yun, I turned to her. Security Division will support the operation. You'll have operational command. Me? Then what will you be doing? She looked confused. Everyone was curious. I've made too many enemies in the Heavenly Wolf Guard, I said. Better if I move from the spotlight into the shadows. I'll step in when the moment is critical. Everyone nodded. Made perfect sense. The Heavenly Wolf Guard wanted me dead. Operating openly would just paint a target on Chang'e Prefecture. One more thing. I need to recruit additional constables. I looked at Sun Biao, who gestured toward Zhang Tai. That's Patrol Division's department. They control the budget. Zhang Tai smiled. I already ran the numbers before coming here. We can add 100 constables and a few deputy positions. Deputies need someone to vouch for them, though. A guarantor. Can I serve as guarantor myself? Everyone chuckled. Shi Xian explained. Lin Yin vouched for you when you first joined. That got you 9th rank status. Then I vouched for you for the Qingshan City constable position. That's how our system works. Anyone you vouch for gets a smoother career path. But if they turn out to be traitors, your guarantor chain takes the hit too. It clicked. Lu Chengxian and Zhao Sun had likely vouched for me at this level. If I ever went rogue, they'd face consequences. High stakes all around. Everyone filed out to handle their responsibilities. Yun Ruo went to plan the cult crackdown. Sun Biao and Shi Xian went to pack. Zhang Tai headed back to crunch budget numbers. The crime directors started reshuffling personnel. I kept Wen Kangxian behind. This bag is full of rare herbs from the Water Qilin Cave. I promised Brother Dai I'd give the Medicine Guild first pick. I opened the bag, revealing the pile of exotic plants inside. When Kong Xuan's eyes softened with emotion. Thank you for remembering, Director Yang. After Brother Dai's death, the guild sent a new manager. I can bring him by today if you're free. Please do. When Kong Xian moved fast. Within half an hour, he brought back an old man who smelled like he'd been marinating in medicinal herbs his entire life. I checked the old guy's stats, similar to Dai Huijin's level, but older and weaker. The medicine guild had clearly sent someone less capable as a replacement, still nervous about Rome spies infiltrating their ranks. 1 hour of negotiation later, the old man left happy, and I had 40,000 taels in silver notes. Not bad for a bag of flowers. When Kong Xian bowed on his way out. The guild profited well from this, Director Yang. They'll remember it was Brother Dai's connection that made it happen. His family will be taken care of. He was sharp enough to know I could have sold those herbs in the provincial capital for the same price. Bringing them back here was about protecting Dai Huijin's reputation, making sure nobody could say his promises meant nothing after his death. Officer 1. If Dai's family needs anything, just say the word, he nodded solemnly. Next stop, the blacksmith shop in the Martial Market. The old master saw me coming and immediately pulled out my order, 1,000 refined red gold throwing knives. I paid the remaining 250 taels and inspected 100 refined red gold throwing knife, attack, 100 way better than normal knives at 10 to 20 attack. But compared to the armor-piercing knives I'd used up, still a big step down. Good enough for now. Master, can you forge a crane-beak pickaxe from Qilin iron? He blinked. From what iron? Qilin iron. He stood there like a statue. You mean, from the water Qilin cave? That's right. His eyes went wide with longing. Could I at least look at it? I handed over the bag. He examined the Qilin iron like a jeweler appraising diamonds, savoring every moment. Then he bowed apologetically. Director Yang, my skills aren't good enough to work with this material. You just wasted 5 minutes of my life for that? He blushed furiously, but wasn't even sorry. He was thrilled. Not many blacksmiths in all of Zhao have ever seen Qilin iron. I'm one of the lucky few now. But there's a retired master blacksmith hiding somewhere in Xiangfeng Prefecture. He might have forged Qilin iron when he was young. If you can find him through the mining guild, maybe through Mountain River Sect, he could make your pickaxe, Xiangfeng Prefecture. That was where Director Shi was being transferred. And Sect Master Liang from Mountain River Sect could probably point me to this hidden blacksmith. After I rest up at the red gold mine, I'll make a trip there. Then I place my real order. How much 100 refined red gold do you have? I need hundreds of these knives. Thousands, ideally. The master laughed nervously. I don't have that much material. But if you're paying, I can travel to other prefectures and commission them for you. 180 knives. Here's 10,000 taels. The extra covers your travel expenses. Deliver them to the Iron Garment Division under my name. He counted the notes with trembling hands. At least 1,000 taels of pure profit for him. He was ecstatic. I left with my belt fully loaded. 10 red gold knives mixed into my regular set. Felt good to have a full loadout again. Meanwhile, back in Qingshan City, things I'd only learn about later, my deputy Qin Guoqing was getting some disturbing news. Old Zhao, one of our informants, came to him with a report. The Divine Immortal cult had established a presence in Qingshan City. An acquaintance of ours named Luo Yu was running the local branch, calling himself Protector Luo. They'd recruited ordinary citizens, even refugees, promising that joining the cult meant becoming an immortal after death. People were actually donating money to some cult leader nobody had ever seen. Qin Guoqing stood up immediately. Gather everyone. I'm going to have a talk with this Luo Yu. Old Zhao turned to leave, and then a massive explosion rocked the building. The ground shook. Walls cracked. Dust rained from the ceiling. Qin Guoqing and Old Zhao stared at each other in shock. Before either could react, a blood-covered constable stumbled in, face white with terror. The Divine Immortal cult. They did some kind of ritual, called down heavenly fire. The front gate is destroyed. Several brothers are dead or wounded. Qin Guoqing's face went dark as night. He sprinted toward the front gate without another word. The Divine Immortal cult had just attacked the Iron Garment Division headquarters in My City. While I was gone, this was going to be a problem. When I got back to Green Mountain City with Qin Mo, the Iron Guard office was in ruins. The front gate was blown to pieces, the stone lions shattered, steps cratered. Several guards were bloodied and sitting on the ground. One was dead. A piece of debris had gone through his neck. I smelled something in the air that I recognized immediately: gunpowder. Someone had made explosives. A guard rushed up to tell me that the Immortal Sect, a cult, had attacked them with divine fire from heaven. The locals were already gossiping, saying it was punishment from the gods, saying I was a bad person, saying I'd robbed the Snake Gang for money. Someone was spreading propaganda against me. I knew who was behind this. Luo Yu, the former police inspector I'd kicked out of the Red Gold Mine months ago. He'd reinvented himself as a cult leader, calling himself Guardian Luo of the Immortal Sect. He'd gathered around 180 followers and figured out how to make explosives using materials available in this world. What worried me was his logic. He thought my power came purely from my high level, just one stat point per level, spread across strength and agility, maybe 20 or 30 points each. He assumed my martial arts couldn't be very advanced since I hadn't been here much longer than other players. He was completely wrong about my actual strength, but he didn't know that. He'd also recruited Zhang Wei from the Snake Gang as an informant, planning to lure me into an ambush with explosives. His ultimate goal was to control player populations coming into the game world, building his own power base through the cult. His philosophy was dangerous. He considered the native people of this world to be just NPCs, not real humans. Only players mattered to him. He warned his followers that if the natives ever realized players were outsiders, terrible things would happen. I walked through the wreckage of my own office and gave one order: assemble every single guard. Now, I returned to Green Mountain City with Qin Mo to find the Iron Guard office in ruins. Gate blown apart, stone lions shattered, one guard dead from shrapnel through the neck. I smelled gunpowder immediately. Chen Guoqing briefed me. A cult called the Immortal Sect had appeared in the city, led by Luo Yu, the same troublemaker I'd expelled from the mine months ago. He was now calling himself Guardian Luo and had gathered nearly 200 followers. Worst of all, he'd figured out how to make explosives and was calling them divine fire from heaven. The locals were starting to believe it was real supernatural power. What Luo Yu didn't know was that I'd just come back from the provincial capital with big news. The Iron Guard headquarters had launched a nationwide crackdown on the Immortal Sect. The cult had connections to Rome tribe spies. This wasn't just a local problem. During my briefing, a guard named Lu Jitong spoke up, saying we shouldn't anger the Immortals, or they'd send more divine fire. I used my insight skill on him. Nothing showed, but the skill only covers the last 3 days. His fear-mongering was exactly the kind of talk that helps cults grow. Qin Mo stepped forward and stripped Lu Jitong of his uniform on my orders. When Lu threatened to report me to the prefecture, Qin Mo laughed and held up my new appointment papers. I was now the acting chief of Security Division 1 and 3 at the prefecture level, while still serving as Green Mountain City's constable. Lu went white as a sheet and stumbled out the door. I sent Qin Mo to follow him. Sure enough, Lu went straight to someone he called Guardian Luo, confirmed traitor. Then Zhang Wei from the Snake Gang came to see me privately. Luo Yu had approached him, trying to use him as bait to lure me into an ambush with explosives. But Zhang Wei was smarter than Luo Yu thought. He came to warn me instead, knowing that a madman with bombs was bad for everyone's survival. I appreciated the tip. The explosives I'd seen at the office were manageable. My diamond body could handle that level. But if Luo Yu scaled up the charges, even I'd be in danger. This needed to be dealt with quickly and carefully.